Hello.
Alright, so we are live now. Everything is all on right now, including the music. Maybe the music's a bit too loud. Let me just adjust that just a little bit. Okay, very good. Hi everybody, this is CVGS. I'm the Captain here, and welcome to our Wednesday's discussion stream. And I'm here with OuterOrange. Hi, welcome back, Orange. It's good to have you back over here. So, yeah, it's a choice week really. So because of the fact that let me just swap over to the other screen. It's a choice week because we got news from Lyrical Monasterio, which a lot of people were looking forward to, and yeah, we definitely had to get 100% the Mermaid Queen on. So everybody sweep the dust off your sleeves and your arms, bow down to your Mermaid Queen, especially with a premium Pacific deck that's on a YouTube channel, which you guys can check out all in the link in the description box below. If you guys don't know who OuterOrange is, OuterOrange, do you mind actually giving a short introduction for anybody that's new here?
Yeah, I am a Cardfight Vanguard player. I also do like games and stuff on the side, but I mainly do Cardfight Vanguard content, and my biggest thing is like Grand Blue and Bermuda Triangle recently. Bermuda Triangle I've been really experimenting with a lot, and also I just love Grand Blue. So it's like the main two things I do, but I do other things too, like surveys and like streams with people, deck profiles, deck formats, and just the discussions, research especially, like how to find decks, how to find information, all that stuff. So it's kind of what I'm getting more known for, is research at Bermuda.
Very much so. And we can see everybody's all starting to bow down to the Queen right now, so we're seeing that all in the chat, so it's good to see that. So yeah, so as I mentioned, it is a very choice week because we did get news on mermaids right now, and Orange, you may not be hearing right now, but I'm actually playing the music that goes with Bermuda Triangle back in the G era. So I mean, I have to play it up, so I have to play it up on there. Yep, so good to see everybody over there. So as usual, we'll get straight into the news, and then we will stop here and there to actually go to actually talk about it. Let's get the release for next week out of the way right now, which is actually for Monster Strike. Now, for those of you that didn't catch the quick cap that I did, which I reformatted our recap video, so it's now on before the discussion stream. And it's kind of like a quick go through as to all of the news that we have gotten from Tuesday from there. So we start off with actually with the promos. Although the promos there's not much to say, but there's one, because one of them is actually a Bermuda promo, and good thing that we have Orange over here, which is quite convenient. So for the one for Bermuda Triangle, the skill is right. This is the promo that's in the V Premium and Premium Standard, of course. So its skill is that once per turn, alter on the rearguard circle. When this unit attacks, by paying counter +1, choose one of your other rearguards, return it to your hand, and this unit gets the return card's original power until the end of the turn.
Interesting. That's actually not bad.
So as I mentioned in my initial reaction is that it's nice that it has the plus power, so it can bounce a grade 2, it gets plus 10k, or a grade 3 and it gets plus 13k from there potentially. But it's really more for the utility of the bounce more so than the power. Am I correct?
Yeah. It's kind of a combination of things. So Bermuda, outside of like Melody, has a lot of issues getting power in some ways. There's certain decks that struggle getting to a certain power level, and this card can actually help with that. It could get those magic numbers a little faster. I do agree that bouncing another rearguard is definitely the best bet, and actually I would even say that with this in mind, this says when this unit attacks, this actually enables multi-attacking in potential future, because you're opening up that rearguard space, so there's a potential in the future that we'll get a card that you can actually place back onto the field.
Exactly. So, and of course, with a lot of Bermuda Triangles actually have a lot of bounce back skills that, you know, when it's returned to hand, then you can get a lot of stuff happening, which usually involves like resource management in a way. So you get like a soul charge, counter charge, or maybe like additional calls down. You know, choose a card from your hand and call it down the rearguard circle. Yeah. So this is actually as people are actually pointing out in the chat right now. So. Azana Serran actually saying the promo is good. It makes Eve almost a deck and makes numbers and gets shield. So yeah, there's a lot of pluses that you can actually get from this promo. So
that's good. I like it.
It is really good. So now onto Tachikaze, which unfortunately I did play for a little bit because I did play the G-Gaia deck for a while. I actually built the G-Gaia deck for a little bit or so. But the skill is that auto on the rearguard circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge for this unit, and at the end of that battle, counterblast 1 and discard 1 of this unit's equip gauge, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's grade 2s or greater rearguards and retire it. So this one is a little bit self-sufficient because it allows you to, as long as it's attacking a Vanguard, you can actually use his own ability to actually get the equip gauge to pay for the cost, so that you can actually get the +1 draw and, you know, the retire as well. I didn't have the chance to really play with the with Tachikaze in V Premium really. So but from the skills of this, like the utility of the +1 draw and its self-sustaining capabilities, it really makes this card look really like kind of like a nice add to it. So so long as there's space in the deck, of course. Let me ask you, do you have any experience, or do you know anybody with experience in Tachikaze?
I know someone with experience, and they talk to me a lot about Tachikaze. I haven't heard his opinion on this yet specifically, but from my understanding, it doesn't seem. I like the fact that you can go to the first skill and just not do the second skill. Yeah. You have like the choice to just like do the one and then just like you can choose to do the other one to like kind of recycle your cost, or you can just not do it. I think the draw is actually really nice too, and the fact that you can even pop something against certain matchups, you may need to pop something, and this will be just perfect to just say, I don't want to see that Blaster Dark on your field. Bye bye.
Correct.
It's just it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'd say yeah. I like I said, I've never played the deck. I actually faced one at Springfest. And then we got shut down halfway through. Like we were told we had to repair. So unfortunately, I didn't get to playing him. But yeah, we had to repair right at the end of our matches. It was really awkward, but it was fun. He was just like equip gauge. I was like,
what's going on here? So yeah, that's true. So, we got Vermeer chiming in saying, okay, so the Tachikaze grade 2 is actually good, but since Tachi has so many good and busted grade 2s, the space is kind of really tight. I tried experimenting him with some builds. He doesn't have a place in Gaia or Gigano, but in older builds such as with Gigarex and maybe pure Gaia, he's actually really good to continue having consistency. So yeah, I can actually see that actually being like the reality of things. So yeah, surprisingly enough, while my initial thoughts were that's not bad and, you know, that's pretty good, it's kind of like bumped up. So after days worth of thinking and just, you know, kind of like bouncing opinions off of other people as well. So
I think it's good utility.
Yeah,
if you want that utility.
Yeah. So, Andrew, I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I was watching Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. As for yesterday's news, I'm so excited for Blaze Maidens. So, yeah, good to see you, Andrew. Right, and then the standard promo that we got is actually for Cactus Sanctuary. When this unit attacks while boosted, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. If you have the space for this card, he's kind of helpful, but he's a little bit not here, not there. Do you know what I mean?
Is it a grade 2?
It's a grade 2. Let me look it up.
Hexa Orb can use it.
Hexor can use it also, but I actually played around with Hexor Orb in DBTO2, and I kind of find hard to find space for a card like this in there. So, like as much as like the plus 50k attacker is there are others that can actually get more power, especially with Hexor Orb kind of manipulating the deck in a way. So its space kind of like really dwindles down a little bit because of that. So, like to me, I still find it pretty iffy, but you know, as long as somebody...
It's just numbers.
Yeah, it's just numbers indeed. So, and of course, it's a great tool, so it controls the Bastion meta a little bit. So we gotta have that running rampant as well.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So that's the promos that are coming out in August, at least the Japanese side in August. So maybe in September it might be coming out for English in September in shop tournaments and such. So stuff they can look forward to, especially if you're playing Bermuda, if you're playing Tachikaze in the premium formats, and yeah, Canton Century in case you want to get an extra card for the Canton collection. Right, so we move on quickly to the Monster Strike one. So we got 2 new cards coming out, and the release for Monster Strike is actually out next week. So these are kind of like one of the final cards that we're getting, and then everything else is kind of like commons and rares and as cards of the days or so. But for Monster Strike, we did get this one here, Innocent Skylord Onyang Kopon. It took me like 4 times to get his name right for the recap, for the quick cap. So, but his skill is continuous on the rearguard circle. This unit can intercept from the back row, not bad. But the other part is when this unit intercepts, all of your rearguards cannot be hit until the end of that battle, which is quite interesting because this is a rearguard PG that activates by interception, and you can do that from the back row even as well. So, in terms of like protection, like against battle for rearguards, like it's a triple R, but so far I've seen, I looked up quite a lot of videos of Monster Strike as well. So far I've seen, right, there doesn't seem to be a lot of instances whereby your opponent will actually be attacking the rearguards, or at least key rearguard units that you want to keep protected. So like, you know, depending on how the matchup goes, this might be more of a situational card, I'd say. But what do you think? Like it is Monster Strike. Oops, hang on, give me a second. Can't play that song because otherwise it'll be. Uh-oh, yeah, we can't play Zero Proud, unfortunately, because you know we'll get the copyright claim from the studio. So, but yeah, but even though it's Monster Strike, even though it's from a collab set, right? Like a card like this with the ability to intercept and also to block all of the rearguards, like that's pretty wild, right?
I agree. I think I wish this card existed in the premium.
Yeah, so
else to experiment with, because they're like, oh, I'm gonna retire. You can't attack my stuff. It negates Overlord. Doesn't it negate Overlord?
It can negate Overlord. Yeah. If you play against Overlord, it actually protects them from. It cannot be hit until the end of the battle. So
Overlord, they can't restand.
Yeah, they can't get the restand. So because the attack needs to hit, and a lot of the when the Vanguard or when on hit attacks happen, they cannot pull off because a card like this will actually block that. So yeah.
Yeah, as long as they can't touch that card first, then yeah, you're safe. Because if they pop off this card, then you can't do anything. But if you use this card like faster than they can retire, then yeah, it's not too bad.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is they cannot be hit until the end of the battle. But we got Sean here saying yeah, it does, but it doesn't against Leonard. So the thing with Leonard is that his skill is that like when his attack hits, then you know like he'll be able to well, it's been a while, so it's been a while since I've thought about it.
Power charge, slow charge?
No, I think it's slow charge and then call down unit out from the soul to Rearguard Circle.
Oh, that guy, the Dark States guy. I know what you're talking, the new one, the busted guy.
Yeah, correct. The very busted guy, the one that can make 7 attacks in. The one that can give Violence Bruise a Pale Moon style of play. So, but yeah, so like this is, but it still kind of like highlights the point that it might be a little super situational, I feel.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah, but as you say, I wish the skill was in Overdress, but I think if it was, it might block off quite a few things or so.
Yeah, it would just be interesting to see a card like this like outside of just Overdress.
That's true. So, but hopefully, usually these collabs can kind of like hint at what we can see in the future, although not in the near future, but like later on. So, like, I've noticed that that's a nice trend that Vanguard actually has, and it's kind of nice to see that these collab sets are getting these awesome skills. Turns out we're seeing those awesome skills later on in the main set, so which is quite nice to see. PJ is like, why does Oya Capone looks like a Full Metal Alchemist character?
Does he?
I don't know who you might be referring to, but yeah.
yeah. I don't see it, but maybe I'm on crack.
Yeah, maybe so. Alright, so the last one is the other grade 3, which is knocking on Heaven's Door Uriel. So Its skill is that when this unit attacks, if your persona wrote this turn, choose any number of cards in your soul column to your open Vanguard circle and put the rest of your soul into the drop. Then its other skill is when this unit is boosted by paying counter blast 1 and discarding a card from your hand, retire all of your opponent's rearguards in the back row. So
okay.
Yeah, so this is basically like
Yeah.
it blows up the entire back row. So and
Yeah.
you give up the +1, but I think for +1 for your opponent to actually put down another 3 cards in order to replace them, right? Really kind of like it can actually put a stop to a lot of strong combinations. Like imagine something like this against Bastion. Like you nuke all the great trees in the back row. Yeah, he's got more to call down, but he's got to call them down, and then he still has to discard 1 in order to restand 1 for it. So it's like how much hand can he maintain from there? So I guess
you can also put down the resist guy, right? There's the guy that says like he can't be retired.
Yeah, he can't be retired, but this one says retire all of your opponent's regards in the back row. So so for Sado, I believe the card's name is right. It doesn't specifically target him, so for Sado will go.
Okay. Oh, I see. Because it's not chosen. I see what you mean.
Correct.
That makes sense. It will go. Oh, it's not too bad then. At least against Bastion, yeah, I can see that. I can see that actually being pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's true. So, who puts down boosters in the lineup meta though? So lol. I mean, I haven't seen that many Bruce Dex builds other than from BTO1, which we will get to later on in the stream as well. So, because that's definitely a subject that we're gonna be talking about. So, but yeah, beyond that, this is actually the stuff for Monster Strike. So nothing too significant, and it kind of ends off Monster Strike. It kind of ends off the Monster Strike reviews that we've seen thus far. Because next week we are getting reviews from for the Angels actually for Lyrical Monasterio. So that's something else also. Yeah, I think it's a time leap. Vanguard Insider would definitely be excited for that because it does involve having grades in the bind zone. So
which he likes.
Which he 100% likes. So
his gears.
I'm actually looking forward to his news video about the Angels when they finally come out. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so we now move on to the mermaids, and this was expected. So the right line, Ecstasy's right line, we start with the grade 1. So when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle, choose a grade 1 or less card in your drop and call it the Vanguard Circle as rest. And then when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle, this unit gets +2 can to end of return. That first card was really significant because it really brings to mind that, oh, now suddenly, right, the cards that you actually discard for the right deck actually now is important, especially if you're playing Assassin's right here, because choose a grade 1 or less card for your draw zone and call it the Vanguard Circle as rest. So you have to choose specifically what it is that you're looking for.
I like this.
Yeah.
Because like, you can like even use your triggers, you can use your grade 1s, you can use whatever you want, and you can call it back. And it sets you up to, you can like, if you're going second and you're doing this, you instantly have like a board set up. But right now with how BTO1 is going, where everyone's just throwing up their hands to go as rushed as possible. This ride line will let you do that rush play as well, as you're not minusing. You know, it's rest, but you can still prepare yourself. Like going first or second, you can prepare yourself, set it all up, and then have a board next turn. Yeah,
exactly. So, and yeah, I mean, when it comes to the next unit, which is the grade 2 in the right deck. So, as this is Kiora, when this unit attacks, choose one of your rearguards and we return it to your hand. Then continues on the Vanguard Circle. During the battle, this unit boosted. Like this unit gets +5k power. So this emphasizes having a more of a full field, really. But that return the card to your hand. That's like, this is definitely something that's more that shines the supports more so than the right deck.
I think this card's solid. It's like a Coral card, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because you can return whatever you want. It does not state specifically what you need to return. So you can. It's so nice because it gives you so much value. Like you discard your trigger, you call it back out, and then you swing with it, and then you get it back to hand. Like it's crazy. It's actually like really good interaction you can do, and it kind of reminds me almost of Zorga, because Zorga also like does really well with terms of discarding and then getting your value back from what you're discarding, because you can just call stuff onto the field and then ghost chase it back. This is like that version, but actually simpler. It's easier to do that condition, and you just bring it back. It's great.
Correct. So Zero says that the grade 2 is great as well, allows you to rush and not minus or getting denied damage. Pretty decent in premium as well. So 15k attacker when boosted. Yeah, especially because it's a 50k attacker straight up when it's boosted. And so You know, there's a lot of goodness that you can actually get from having this card like just on the Regard Circle in premium for that fact as well. And Sean pointed out one combination, discard an Overtrigger, call your Overtrigger, return the Overtrigger back to hand.
Yeah, you could.
You could
definitely do that.
Since we
I
haven't,
don't think you should give it away, but still.
yeah, you shouldn't give it away that you had it in hand. But the point remains that a card like this right actually has a lot of value. And since we haven't seen what the rest of the deck actually has, so like right now we just have to go with the generic speculation of what is potentially on the table here for SSCs and the mermaids in general. And of course we got the Great Tree, which is Kairi. So every time I say Kairi, I keep thinking Kingdom Hearts.
Me too.
I cannot get it out of my head. Yeah, when you walk away. Alright, so her skill is when this unit attacks, cost +1, choose up to 2 of your regards and return them to your hand. And at the end of battle, this unit attack, if your persona wrote this turn, choose up to 2 cards from your hand and call each of them to separate row regard circles. So this is one of those cards, this is one of those skills whereby, as I said, for this deck, right, the support shine more than the right deck itself. So because the right deck is kind of like the key to the entire engine of how the deck truly functions from here. And so the fact that you can choose 2 regards and bounce it out means that you can get a whole entire column for another 4th attack in there, which is very signature of Bermuda Triangle. Which is very signature of Bermuda Triangle in the way that they play. Multi attacks and multi hard hitting attacks, especially with boost as well. So like, you know, what do you think?
I think so there's so much stuff that this can set up for in the future that I really like. Like you can, like, say you don't have your persona ride, you can even like set up your stuff. Like you can call out stuff that you want to just bring back to your hand. Like you can have like a very defensive swing. Say your opponent, like say you're facing stuff like Eugene or any form of retire, and what I really like about this actually goes around prison really well. You drop down your 2 cards. You swing with them, and then you bring them back to hand, and now your opponent can't do anything with your board. They can't nuke your board, they can't retire your board, they can't do anything. And then you can set up so like you can wait for your persona ride, and then go into your persona ride, and then go like, you know, and you can go like swing, swing, bring back, swing, swing again, you know what I mean? And I think that's like what's really key, or what's really nice about this card is that it goes around a lot of stuff that your opponent can do. This makes Eugene like extra bad, because Eugene can't do anything against this. Like you can just instantly have an empty board, and sometimes having an empty board is like better than having a board, because some of your opponent's skills just don't activate anymore. So I think this will be like really interesting, especially with added on momentum added to this. It'll be even better, and your hand's just gonna keep getting bigger. If you're constantly returning cards, you're gonna keep having like a pretty decent hand.
Yeah, especially so. As a lot of people are kind of pointing out here, so she's decent, but being persona locked is actually very so. But that's kind of like the counter capability, because if this was consistent, if this was consistent every turn, right, then this would be a much more powerful card, and that might actually trump a lot of a lot of the decks that's actually currently out at this point in time in DPTO2. Yeah, so the control of the persona right actually kind of keeps it in check. You still get the bounce too, and as OuterOrange points out, you can actually rescue cards that actually that might be in danger, or cards that you don't particularly want to lose. And you do have quite a lot of Soul Blast to actually work with. You got 3 Soul Blasts to work with, so it's like you got 3 turns of this if you don't add any more Soul Charges, of course. And you know, you can actually get plenty of time to actually set up for persona right and actually going for a strong 4th attack. So.
Yeah, plus like you have also like you can do on-place abilities again too. Like it's not as bad of a card as people make it seem. I know it's persona ride block, but as you mentioned, it's like a balance thing. Like they have to balance it somehow, or else it'd be prism all over again in V Premium. We don't want to see that 5 attacking skill go off every single time. We don't want to see. It's kind of like a mini, like almost like attempt to a final rush. Like you start off vanilla and then you go into something that's more intense. It's more about the tempo. You have to know when to go in. Of course, you have to get to your persona ride. If you don't, then it can be troublesome. But for the most part, the fact that you can stay defensive the whole time and know when to go in is, I think, the unique and the fun part behind this card.
Not only that, also, like if you are planning, if you don't foresee the turn actually being favorable in a particular time, you can actually call down the Great Tree as a regard first, and after you attack with it, and after you can bounce back with Kairi. Exactly. And prepare for the persona right at a better timing as well. So there's a lot of big brain plays that you can actually make with this. So. And
exactly.
Yeah, so while I stand by why I said that this deck is going to be a deck where the support shine more, because when you want to see like what kind of shenanigans can actually happen if you bounce back the cards, and like and when it gets called down on regard circles from there. So like that's the main heart of the deck. But you can just see from the bones with the right deck itself, there's a lot of potentiality that we can see here. And so for April and subsequently in late October rather, we'll be seeing these combinations in action. And just I think those 2 dates are actually gonna be a bit weary. Like Vanguard players gonna be a bit weary about the mermaids coming in, and let alone all the others in Lyrical Monastery. The giant whale is coming.
We'll see also how set 3 does. Like it depends on set 3 where this will stand.
Yeah, set 3 comes after this.
Does.
So
okay.
Yeah, so it comes after this.
Okay.
So
I mean, pushed it back for us. I don't know how much like they were getting it like in October, I think. So which is kind of a long time actually.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure like if set 3 would be out by then.
Correct. So this sounds like a precursor to calling PGs and bouncing to hand. Kind of, yeah, because you get this kind of PG and bouncing back to hand. But that's giveaway information really. So but Final Rush is consistent. Persona Right isn't at the moment right now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Final Rush is consistent, but Persona Right is not consistent, but that's also the counterbalance to it from it being too strong. So like how do I put this also? Because while the Persona Right will make the Final Rush a lot more powerful, Final Rush at the end of the day, right, is still just a state, right, that allows your cards to actually function from there. So it's not any different from something like Exorcist that we're seeing here. It's kind of like the same, but when your Persona Right happens, then you get a lot of benefits out of it. So it's the same vein in that regard. So at the moment, then the Whale Nation attacked, but then everything changed when the Whale Nation attacked.
Yeah, what's like my cat is like trying so hard to knock off something.
No problem. So Andrew says, just seeing this TD, I feel sorry for Eugene a lot. At least Sarah Snow has ways to get cards into prison from drop their hand. So yeah, that's true. So Vimera says set 3 is in November if he remembers correctly, because the client collection is actually in October. Early October.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then after that, Bermuda's is end of October, which is coinciding with the same day as the new SD, which we'll talk about in a little bit. After that, after Lyrical Monasterio, then it will be set 3 from there. Then with the 3 new right lines that's coming with that set. So
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Excited for it actually. So I'm very excited for set 3.
Oh, me too. Me too.
VKine collection as well, but we'll want to talk about VKine collection as we get closer to it. So, the biggest surprise really from the live stream is the reveal of what the start deck 06 actually is. So it's actually Dragon Empire, to a lot of people's surprise. It's a Blaze Seal Maiden, which throws off a lot of thought processes to what I have. So primarily like the idea of what could it do, because a lot of people kind of like theory crafting. They're kind of like theory crafting, like what kind of mechanic and skills are, and we went into a tangent ourselves over on Twitch as well. So it's played by the character that we saw in the last episode of Vanguard Overdress, which is this girl over here, Mireille. And she'll be playing this deck, and as I said, a lot of us have been speculating, one of which is kind of like, okay, it's a Blaze Maiden, so maybe it's gonna be a Maiden deck. So Maiden deck means that Reno, Ryu, and all the 2 maidens in DBT02 plus Blaze Maiden, Mireille, which is actually from the Festival Collection. Those cards, especially Mireille, right, it kind of hints that if it is a Maiden deck, that means it's a Maiden deck that may play with Overdress. Because the skill for Mireille, the Blaze Maiden, is that she move this unit into Soul, then choose one of your units with Overdress ability, and it gets plus 10k until the end of turn. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
I think it's like 5k, but it's some kind of power.
Correct. It's a 6k base, but it gives power to a unit with the Overdress ability. So the unit doesn't have to be Overdress; it just has to have the Overdress ability. So if it plays Maiden, then it's going straight into that. Other theories is that if we're gonna take it out of like a pure context, because the name is Blaze Seal Maidens, and technically speaking, steel dragons are supposed to still be alive. So maybe it's like it's taking the power of steel dragons, and it could be a deck that might be targeting grade 2s, or I think more likely if it does do that, I think it will have a condition whereby you can target any grade. So you can choose grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, but on specific conditions. So that's another way they can go with it. So, and I really went to far lengths. So if you guys realize that I'm a little bit scatterbrained, that's because I really didn't sleep last night. And you can say that it's because I'm thinking far and wide as to what we can expect from this in late October. But let me ask you, Orange, what is your initial reaction to this?
When I first saw it, I actually didn't catch the name, like when I was watching it yesterday, and I just knew that it was Dragon Empire, because like the whole chat was like, Dragon Empire, Dragon Empire, Dragon Empire, but I didn't actually like think about it too hard. But then I thought back to it a bit later. I agree with your maiden theory probably the most, and if it's not the maiden theory, if it's like something completely different, I think they'll probably be putting in like a new mechanic or something into maybe even into Overdress, and that might be like another thing, because it might be a trial deck that you can just use the cards for like other DE decks, or it could be like a trial deck standalone, like with the maiden type of thing, where you like throw all the maidens in and just have like a maiden party. But those like my two speculations. It's either gonna be like its own deck, or it's gonna be some support for like Nirvana, or some things that you can use for Nirvana, since the Overdress stuff would be like equivalent to it. But it's oh, there goes my mic. But yeah, it could be. It's hard to tell because we only have like just the card. What's really throwing me off is the fact that the card looks so different from all the other ones. It doesn't have like that red and white and flary look to it. If anything, has the opposite of that. It's got like a dragon, like wind, cool look, but you still see the tattoos and stuff like that. So because of that, it's really hard to tell if it is going to be like a maiden card or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she looks completely different from the other cards. Even if you look at the order cards, like the order cards, there's nothing in there that's like a bluish thing. It's all just got that red-white type of schema going. Yeah,
like what if it's kind of like it's Dragon Empire, but what if it's like the Shadow Paladin of like whatever Nirvana is, or whatever the Blaze Maidens might be? So
could be the evil version. Could be like the enemy or something. Could be like the evil protagonist, not the villain of that area, of the region. It's like the big dragon, the one that like, she transforms into a dragon. What if that's what it is? That'd be so cool. But she's got the wings too. She's got the wings on top.
Yeah, she's got the wings on top. So yeah, correct.
I don't know.
She has a dragon crown from there, so yeah, it's super hard to say. It's very super early to say, but there's so much speculation that we go out from there. So actually, we got Vimero here with a lore comment here. So he was searching about the lore about the cards with seal or sealed, and the name seal is in Dragon Empire is related to criminals, units with too much power that are uncontrollable and such. So we literally might be seeing the villain in Dragon Empire here actually. So and I think Mate actually pointed out it really looks Nubatama. That's also another tangent that I went to, and that kind of like blew my mind straight to non-sleep, you could say. Everybody's kind of like pointing out, I'm really living up to the gif that I don't need sleep, I need answers. And also the Charlie Day one with the connected board, and it's like just explaining like like all the theories on it.
Charlie.
Yeah, so but yeah, actually Nobatama actually might be another idea, because of the fact that they could we kind of theorized that they might actually later on try to bring in like some of the play styles that clans are known for, and Nubatama is one of those whereby it affects your opponent's hand, so they have to send cards to the bind zone face down, you know, for the turn, and then they only get it back at the end of the turn. So what if they can actually bring back that to Overdress, but in a more controlled way, in that it doesn't take too much power away from the opponent. So my idea is that it's you choose one of your opponent's cards and put it in the bind zone, then all the regard skills can activate, because if your opponent has put a card in the bind zone, then stuff happens.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah,
like, I have this feeling it's gonna be a new mechanic, but that's just me. Like something we haven't seen yet, because they tend to give Dragon Empire like all the weird stuff. Like we had the trial deck one where it was Yu, and we had Overdress, and everyone was like, "Whoa, Overdress, it's actually a mechanic." I have a feeling in here they're gonna do something similar. They're gonna be like, "New mechanic, blank."
Yeah, it's
possible.
It's possible that it could be a new mechanic from there. So there's just a lot of of speculation that we're going over here.
Maybe like a Nubatama mechanic. Like I'm with you on that because it definitely has a more of like a Nubatama. It looks more like towards Nubatama than any of the others. It's definitely not Tachikaze. It could be the Blaze Maiden thing. It's so hard to tell. Like there's not. It's a really pretty card though. If anything,
it's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. Also, Leon's in the chat, so say hi to Leon, everybody. So.
Hey, Leon, what's up?
Yep.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So just catch up the chat over here. So how long has this game been going till we finally have a Dragon Maiden Ace unit? So well, there you go. It took 10 years, but yeah, we got it right there. So Steel Dragons are mostly uncontrollable, but some are straight up criminals or wardens as well. So antagonists, yeah, because Mirai is actually, I believe it might be part of the Daybreak antagonist group, because it's with the lady here that Danji went to talk to, and he was standing in front of the Daybreak symbol from there, the logo really. So there's a lot of hints as to what this might lead, but it could be potential that Mirai here might actually be a villain, but we do not know any details about it because actually, right, we just got news from earlier today. I should go to the Japanese one. Why am I here on my actually no, this is here we go. So thanks to Jeff for translating it as well. It seems that 2 weeks from now, so the week after this, we're actually getting a special stream with Kidani. As well as Dr. O also be on the special stream as well. So it seems that it's going to be a big announcement, and it is said that they're actually going to be talking about the Overdress Season 2. That's one of the things. As well as, what's the other thing? As well as, there's some people that are speculating that we might get a restriction list coming up, because they wouldn't set a special program like this unless something big was going to happen.
Wow, a restriction list.
Yeah, some people
Finally?
are hoping for restriction list, because I think it's high time that Premium has one, like something updated, just so that we can.
Yeah, we need a meta shift.
Yeah, it needs a meta shift from there. So yeah, correct. So Leon says he'll be up in a bit, so he just came back from work and he's doing his workout right now. So yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people are crying out for it. Dr. O in the stream means only one thing: V-Clan collection. So yeah, we could potentially see V-Clan collection stuff from there. So So winding back, Dungri was a dragon sealed curse of his power, but yeah, Nubatama has some units that say something about sealing jutsus and such also. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see from there. So it's a waiting game. How about either retire 2 unless they bind a card in hand? Yeah, we did thought of the idea. Like imagine if the Blaze Steel Maiden has your opponent choose. You choose a card to bind from your hand, or you retire 2 regards. So
it would be I feel like that's is that too much? Too much? Like either bind or retire. That seems kind of like excessive for Overdress right now.
Yeah, I feel like that might be.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
it might be maybe one or something, like either bind or retire.
Yeah.
But what if there's nothing to retire on your opponent's board? Then it's like you know.
That's true.
I say no. So it's just weird.
Yeah,
again, like against Lyrical, again, they'll be like, oh, sure, you retire my nothing.
I like how that's phrased from there. So, yeah, correct. So, but that's it for the news over here. And oh yeah, there's one more thing. In the start deck, apparently there's going to be 9 new cards and 6 reprinted cards. And there's actually going to be 3 cards that's related to the thing. So I assume it's probably the right line. You can get 3 cards that's in triple R rarity in there. And the 6 cards, I think we kind of like deduce what the 6 cards will be, which will probably be the 4 triggers in there, the PG, as well as the over trigger, the Ovaria over trigger.
So that's a good speculation. It's either that or it's the maidens again. So that would be weird because they just have a trial decks.
Correct.
So yeah, you're right. You're right. I think actually the triggers, reprinting the triggers and the PG and the over trigger would be the best approach.
Unless there's hints to indicate that there is a link between the Blaze Maidens and this one over here. So, but I think there's no direct correlation just yet. So I think it's a safer bet to actually count D6, and we most likely will be seeing a brand new right line in this start deck from there. So yeah, the ones on the left is actually indication. Hang on, let me just see. Well, no information because it's not related to the card itself. So, but basically, this is actually a snippet from the Minivan manga. So
I like the manga. I think it's super cute.
Yeah,
I hope we
manga's-
get that over here in America. I'll be super happy. I'm gonna put it on my wall. I get that manga. It's going up there.
The guide is in the manga form, so that's cool. Yeah, the guide of it is actually in manga form, so yeah, pretty much also. Rin says in Chris's Discord, some more information on the start deck. 9 new cards, 6 reprints, 3 cards get triple R for. Yeah, we just talked about it, Rin. So we just talked about it. Then well, Yu wasn't the OG Trickstar user, so Danji said he was given by somebody. So yeah, that's true. So. But I think that clash might come. It may come in season 2, but I think it's a bit too early. But then again, we are getting news about season 2 here in 2 weeks' time. So
right.
it's actually a big news week really. So and if there is a restriction list, then I gotta make sure that I get somebody in here for the chance.
Please be a restriction list, please.
Yep.
Please be a restriction list, please.
Mm-hmm.
As a player of all 3 formats, we need a restriction list.
Speaking.
I know it's so bad. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. But yeah, actually, speaking of restriction lists, rather, so what are your biggest hopes in Premium to be restricted?
So when I was practicing for Springfest, I'm kind of on the Solemn Vanguard grind, pretty much the big 5. I really want stands to be restricted, but I have this theory that they're not going to be restricted at all, because if you look at the reprint set, literally every single reprint has a stand that's being reprinted. So I actually have this feeling they're not going to restrict the stands. But my biggest thing is definitely like just lowered like the craziness of like what's going on in the big 5. I also think like overall that there's an issue with Tempestosphere, but I don't think Tempestosphere is going to be touched. But that's just personal speculation. Unless they go like a completely different direction with like Vanguard as a total, I think the vanilla concept is kind of like it's gonna keep like breaking stuff. But honestly, I don't know. They're gonna restrict stuff, and then I think OTT is just gonna come breaking through the doors, and OTT is gonna make the next thing that's gonna be busted with Kaliko. But that's just personal opinion. But yeah, definitely the big 5. As per someone who's been playtesting against this with Murakumo and Genesis and Blade Master, those matches are really tough to go around for some clans. I think that's the biggest issue, is that there are some clans that literally can't stop the loop, and they really struggle against that, which means they just can't do anything. Like even in Grand Blue, it took me so long to figure out that Cody the Ghosty is a good counter against Blade Master. You know what I mean? Like it's a card that literally stays on the board even if you get board wiped. So it's a good way to still be able to go to Denial Griffin, and not Denial Griffin, pseudo Denial Griffin for Grand Blue, which is Negro Lily, and all this stuff. But like having to figure all this stuff out just to like stop one key piece is really hard. And I definitely think like the big 5 is like definitely like the big hit. I think DI needs to be hit with Gas Steel too. And I hate to say this because I actually like the way DI works, but that card's always going to be an issue. Like no matter what you do, anytime a new grade 3 comes out, Bear Magnus, new Overdress, any grade 3 comes out, it literally makes that DI card like just like that much more. You always have to think like, if I release this grade 3 card to DI, how much is it gonna break as steel? Like the fact that they have to sit there and think about that every single time, if they think about it. I don't know how much they playtest specifically with DI, but that's like the biggest thing. At least in Premium. In V Premium, Prism needs to just. And this is coming from a Bermuda Triangle player. I literally went to Springfest with this deck. Prism needs to be fixed. And it's not that I hate playing against it, it's that there's such a boring meta. Like, there's nothing interesting about playing against Prism. There's no entertainment there. You're just like, oh, you have 12 cards? I have 4. Cool. Like, and even Prism against Prism, like copy matches, or like mirror matches, like there's like no entertainment there. It's like who gets to their pieces, who triggers sacks first. It's like big GG from that point on. VPM is so fun outside of like Prism matchups and like Angel Feather matchups, and it's just so sad that there's like those 2 decks that just keep it so boring and linear. But yeah, that's like the biggest thing there. And yeah, honestly, like I feel like the metas will be just so much more fun, and plus like just in general there'll be more ways for us to like sit there and just think of like new ways, new things to do. Like maybe Angel Feather will finally start like really pushing through in Premium. Like I just want to see other clans start getting represented, like outside of like Murakumo, Blade Master, and Genesis.
We got a question here from Vimero. Say, should you hit Prism directly or just some some consistency cards like Aqua and Lisa Lot?
I think there should be a restriction between there should be 2 things. Either they errata the triple drive, because the triple drive is like one of the big things, or they errata how Aqua and Weaselot work. So you can have a choice. Like if you're playing Prism, then you have to choose Weaselot or Aqua. You just can't have both. Because that's the biggest issue, is both those cards accelerate the deck so far, especially with Weaselot top decking triggers. You literally just don't die. You can swing with those triggers, bring it back to hand, and just have another turn. You get free PGs out of it. It's just crazy how much value you get out of Weaselot and top idle Aqua. So I feel like if you just have a choice, between the two, I think that'll set the deck back. I don't know if it'll set the deck back enough though, because the deck is just like here, and then it's like everything else in terms of consistency. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's super hard to say. So, but there are some huge targets that we know, and I think the player base is also asking for it to go out from there. But yeah, other than that, it's just kind of like we're just sitting and waiting until 2 weeks to see what happens from there. So, as mentioned, like thankfully you mentioned Gastille, because I honestly believe like a lot of people, like especially in the early times, right? Like a lot of people are just saying, oh, restrict Daimonas, restrict Gastille Daimonas, but I'm like, restrict the Grade 3.
Yeah, it's the issue is Gastille. It's gonna be Gastille. Are you talking about the Stride, or are you talking about the Grade 3?
No, I'm talking about the Grade 3 specifically, the V premium one. So
really, I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. I don't think the Grade 3. Yeah, because the Grade 3 is an issue. But the guy that copies the Grade 3 is even more of an issue, because you're getting a double skill off of it. You're getting your Gastille Grade 3, and you're getting whatever else you want. So that means Gastille is even dumber in a Stride form, if that makes sense, because you're getting double the greatness out of it. You're getting its crazy power levels of like auto off abilities, whatever crits, whatever else it does, and then you can also deck thin your deck, or you can restand with, or you can bring out Baron Magnus. You can have a multi-attacking deck. You can get Die Hard Dumper out. Like there's just so many other things the card adds that I think that gives it. Yeah, like Gastille is the Grade 3 Gastille is rough and all, but like, it's not as bad if it's just that card. Like, if it's just that card, you can kind of at least have some kind of advantage. But if you have that card plus more, it's like, oh no, like you're getting like everything in one. Like that's just rough. But I can see your point. I see your point. I just think overall there will your stricken Gastille now will solve the current issue, but will solve the issue for future DI, and that's kind of where you got to think about. You can't think about like the week ahead. You got to think about the year ahead, and that's kind of, and especially since some metas go for a year. Like you don't want to be stuck with a year of meta of DI just having a party with its like double Grade 3. I do whatever I want. You know what I mean? So you got to think like, and plus for card design reasons, you got to think like, what can I like? If they literally restrict the Gastille, like the Grade 4 specifically, you can actually release cards that are Grade 3 and not have to worry about like the copy card anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just personal opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's my personal opinion that I feel that the V series Gastille is the problem over here, and that's because every other Grade 3 that I've seen, right, while they do have pluses when you copy the skills with Daimonas, they're not as bad as having the 20 cards in the soul when you put the V series Gastille into there. So like I checked through every combination from there, and none of them are as bad as reduce your Vanguard to 1 to 0, and then they cannot activate 1 or 0. They cannot activate any auto abilities. They cannot activate auto abilities for the turn, and and also the do they have like a multi-card like you have the guard with more than one? I think you have the guard with 2 or more, right?
I don't remember. I would have to look at the card. I know auto abilities are off. You get the crits on your front row. You get the power to 1. There's one more that we're missing. I don't think it's as crazy as
no.
I don't think there's a guard restrict.
They're not. So it's actually, I think the first one is a give for every like every card that goes to the soul, then your front row gets plus 3k. So
I gotta double check.
Yeah, I gotta check for that. So and yes, Emerald Samurai, that is the OuterOrange that we have here. So yo, yeah. So you also take a damage or put the top card damage face down. So yeah, that one is not so bad.
Yeah, that's what it is. You take a damage.
Yeah, right? That one's not too bad.
You can just get a quick shield.
Correct. That one's actually not too bad. So but it's really the 0 and the it's really the Vanguard's power to 0 or 1, and also your auto abilities kind of activated. So like compared to everything else that I've seen, right, whatever combination that you can put into there, it does help DI. It does have Dark Irregulars in that regard, but they're not as bad as having Gastille in there.
I faced the full combo of that deck where they Rufus and Gastilled all in one turn, so they had their big soul stack. They hit their 20 soul condition. Like I literally denied them damage. I gave them 0 damage, and they still got all their soul, they just boboed, all their power, everything. I was on Grade 2, by the way. I literally did not play the game. Like I was like, okay, I didn't do anything. They went to their Grade 3, they strode, they did whatever, they just slaughtered me on that same turn. I couldn't do anything. All the Gastille skills activated on top of Rufus getting all the soul charge in, and I was dead. It was just mega GG. And then the crit, I was literally at 0 damage, and he was like, all right, take this. this. I was like, I have to no guard this. I have to no guard this. I have to no guard this. I died. Like
yeah, exactly.
And
so,
I
but,
wouldn't really get a chance to play.
but it calls back to what you said earlier. Like if they're gonna make a restriction list, right, they should make it so that like these like I don't want to use the word brain dead, but these very easy combos actually kind of shift out of the meta so that more creative ones can actually come into play, and so we can have a more dynamic competitive experience. So especially in premium, and especially in V premium to a certain extent as well. But we'll definitely have to wait and see from there. So, and we are talking a lot about the competitiveness over here because also of the fact that Orange actually took part in Cardfight Con's Overdress Invitational. Yeah. Yep. And so you know, like I saw the match that you played. They showcased your match in the first round, really.
They
so.
did, no sound.
Yeah, with no sound though, so nobody was actually commentating, so we couldn't hear anything. Yeah. So, but that was a fun match. So, but then in the second round, you got knocked into the losers bracket, and you went on for a while. Like you went around for another 2 more rounds in the losers bracket, but then you got knocked out by, was it Winning Image or was it?
It was Machine Blau.
Machine Blau actually. Yeah, it was Machine Blau.
Yeah,
actually.
Pretty much. I faced Cardweave, and Cardweave just said, "Hey, I'm just going to sack triggers." Not literally, but that's pretty much what happened. Because I went first, so he went second, and we were both playing Zorka, and he just like threw up his board. Like he had like his grade 1 in the middle, and then he had Mantis, and then a trigger in the back. So he pretty much Mantis to make all his stuff like be very hittable, and then he swung. And with his Vanguard, he went in a front on top of that. So now everything went up like another 10k. So he literally put me at 3 damage. My mulligan was so not good for this. It was actually like I couldn't guard. I had 5k guards, or I had orders in my hands. So I literally couldn't order his 23. I couldn't block his 23k attacks. Next turn goes in, he wins a crit. The turn after that, he wins a double crit. Like he took me out. It was a crit in the front. He took me out before I could even like do anything. It was awful. I don't even remember. I think he might have even landed his over trigger. It was just so fast. Like the game lasted like a total of like 8 minutes. Like it was just like boom boom boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I wish I could have saw the match or so, but I was only watching Cardfight Con's stream at the time, and they were only showcasing. They were only really showcasing like whatever matches that they actually get a showcase of from start to finish. So, but.
Gonna showcase 2 at a time, but they couldn't get a stream going for 2. I don't know what happened, but they were originally gonna have a double stream going. They were gonna showcase 2 matches at the same time.
Yeah,
so we can like watch back and forth. But yeah, some stuff happened. I'm not sure. I think they were having some technical issues.
Yeah. They did. I mean, no sound at the start. no sound at the start.
Yeah,
of the
they were
stream,
struggling. So. I felt so bad because they were stressing out too, and I was like, oh no, I hope you guys fix it.
Yeah. So, but throughout it all, also it was actually a very fun experience to actually just watch the early stages, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see Mr. Timely actually take it at number 1, really. So because,
dude,
like, like
that's so funny.
Yeah, I'm like so I like so happy to see that it's not just like competitive players that are well known in the competitive scene, but it's also like Vanguard content creators as well. So to see different fight, to see Mr. Timely, and especially Mr. Timely actually take the victory over here, it kind of like warms my heart, and to showcase that, you know, we're not just talking hits over here that just talk about the game and showcase a few games here and there. We also are competitive players as well, and as Leon pointed out, also we need to get English decks. I think me and Leon, we need to start getting English decks. And
yeah, this was a really fun experience. I think the fact that it's all content creators, so it's all people love like every one of these people in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So it was so hard to root for people because like even between like Timeleap and like Cardweave, like both of them are such great people, like as individuals.
Yeah.
It's so hard to root for someone over the other, and it's just so great. It's so nice to see the community be like, oh my god, I love Mr. Timeleap, Vanguard, it's our go, and then you see like, yeah, Cardweave, Vision. You see like winning Image, like you just see all these communities come together from like all different sides, like just being happy to see like the face-offs happen. Like Living Proof got like a lot of support. I was watching people like, go Living Proof, like just like because everybody has something to say about each person, and they're all like really positive things. So just overall, like seeing 16 people that are like known, or in some way at least somewhat known, is just like super exciting.
Yeah. So hopefully like this like the invitational really proved to be very successful, and hats off to Cardfight Conf for actually being able to organize everything, you know, and just set this up as well, because this was a fun weekend. This was an absolutely very fun weekend as well, and
a lot of work.
A lot of work went into it as well, and I hope one day maybe either myself or Leon will be able to take part in this as well. So because like, you know, we've like being part of this big image, like in the Vanguard community really. So it's like for us at CVGS, right, because we kind of like dropped off around the V era, so we didn't maintain our quote unquote traction from there because of so many circumstances, the pandemic including as well. But yeah, just for us to really grind our wheels and just kind of like this is one of the things that we kind of want to do. So, and hopefully if there is a second one and we do get in, either myself or Leon, we hope to see you guys in there as well. So because this was a lot of fun, and I'm sure it was very fun to be a part of.
Yeah, it was just nice seeing the content creators come together for once. Like it's not something you see every day, and I hope that in general, even outside of Cardfight Con, that becomes like more normal. Just to be able to like that's why I think that's the reason me and Mr. Time we become closer friends, because it's just nice to actually be around people that have the YouTube struggle as you. Like they're also on the grind. They're also like pushing out content and everything. It's just a lot. You can relate in a lot of ways. So it's just really nice.
Correct. So. Sean says, have you seen the new Bermuda Trial Deck card that's shown earlier today? Yes.
The 3K?
Yeah,
I love the 3K.
No, the 10K, which is the demon.
Oh, the one that just gets the soul. Yeah. She's not too bad. She has to hit though, but she's just an on hit. I soul charge.
Yeah, I figure I can take this out and actually put it into to some of the other decks. We haven't seen the rest of the right lines, of course, also. But if there any in there, right, that actually has a lot of like requiring of soul, then something like this will actually be a lot more useful in those decks also. And kind of right now,
she's so cute.
Yeah, she's super cute also. But at the same time, also like the soul charge too. Like we have to see what the rest of the deck has. In order to see where the extra soul blasting will come from. So, but we are slowly.
The 3K is really nice.
The 3K is actually really nice also. The 3K in here. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's
it's
the same
like
one.
a lesser grade Weaselot.
Yeah,
like
it
pretty
is.
much.
Pretty much also. When this unit is placed on the Regard Circle, cost Soul Blast 1 and look at the top card of your deck, and call it either to an empty Regard Circle or add it to your hand. If you add it to your hand, you can choose a card from your hand and discard it. So, or you have to choose a card. Actually, yeah, this one is actually, it's 3K, but the most important part is not that 3K really. The most important part is the capability to actually field the card. So, yeah.
So you can put it as rest and still do its skill.
That's true.
Like it's the right one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, my mistake. This the card here, the demon card here that Soul Charge 2 is actually a promo. It's not part of the TD. I just noticed the PR over there, so thank you to Zenairon for actually pointing it out for me. So yeah, so the only card that's in the TD is actually this one right here, and the other one is actually a promo, which is good.
I think this card's solid. It pretty much pluses you in a way. You can call to board, or you can get something in your hand. You can discard like another big one.
Yeah,
whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah, discard a card that you might not actually need in the upcoming turns from there. So yeah.
Yeah, because you can use it for the. I think I like the best part about it is the rest skill. You can use that grade 1 ride line skill to rest this.
Yep.
And, do other things.
Exactly. Especially
3K anyway.
Yeah, correct. Especially if we discard this in the early game. Like you call this out, and after that you can actually Soul Blast or your top card, then field another card. So yeah, a lot of combinations we can start to see right there just from this one review. So
I love it.
It's really good. Yeah, I agree. It's very, very, really good. So yeah. So speaking of your friendship with Mr. Timely, Mr. Timely is one of our most requested people that we actually want to have on the server, and partially I feel like we owe it to Mr. Timely as well to kind of like bring him on the show, because he did cite us as one of his inspirations, especially for his fight videos when he first started out. So he was like trying to do fight videos and also bring the news, but he focused more on the news, and then he moved his fight videos I think over to another channel, I think so, and that's just starting to get traction going on over there. So but definitely one of the people like we definitely want to talk to is definitely Mr. Timely. I think this event, especially if there's a restriction list, I think there'll be a good time to actually get him over there. Like describe your friendship to me with Mr. Timely thus far, if you don't mind, of course.
I mean, our friendship started over Tales. Again, I guess we're still kind of young in our friendship, so. But it's over because we were talking about we went to a huge discussion about like anime and like video games, and then I think he brought up like Tales, specifically Tales of Symphonia. It's a RPG for those of you guys who don't know. It's a JRPG on the PlayStation 2 from like forever ago, back in the youngin days. And yeah, we pretty much just started talking from there because he was like, "Oh, you're into this too?" I'm like, yeah. And we went to a whole Symphonia thing, and now we're just friends. And plus, like, I just seeing him like going so far in the tournament tournament, it was like super exciting. Like we like just started like talking too, and I was like, oh my god, you're winning! Oh my god, you're winning! And I think that just like kind of like solidified the bond even more. And plus, like I've been following him like when I first started Vanguard as well. Like he was one of the main people that I was really. It was like him and Solom that I was like super deep into. Different Fight I started getting more into like a little bit later. But literally like Eric and Solom were like the top two. Like it was like if I'm looking for content, that's where I'm going. Like that was just my direction when I was starting out. Eventually I ended up branching out to all three of them. But I always appreciated how much work and effort he put into like just getting all his news out and just how passionate he is about Vanguard. And I had that same appreciation towards Solom too. So just being able to actually see that was always super cool. So I felt like a little fangirl back then too. So I made a joke of being a fangirl. And he actually took it to the VOD. Like if you could look back, he's like, yeah, OuterOrange, my only fangirl. Let's go.
Takes notes. That's probably the first thing I have to do to Eric when I do eventually invite him to the show. So hope to have him on. So because he is one of those people. Because for our story, it's like we started off on our own as well. Then we also saw some of the other Vanguard YouTubers, and Different Fight was the most standout of them all. And we kind of like started resonating on both our ends as well. Especially back when he did like his comedy skits with his friends. So it's like that really like his level of comedy was it matches ours, and we jive really well. So like for both of us, like we can definitely say like Different Fight is actually definitely one of the biggest influences in terms of our evolution, either as our start or as our evolution as we go along as well. So I mean, eventually as we went on, then Eric, Mr. Timely, actually started coming up as well. Then he started doing a lot of the news and such, and it's just so nice to see like just the evolution, especially from Different Fight and us, and then then after that it branches out to so many, which also includes Solemn, which also includes Vanguard Insider, so many others as well that I can't mention off the head, and you of course as well, because I think the pool of Vanguard content creators and such is really like the biggest drive and biggest motivator for me to really kind of like reach out and just talk to as many people as possible. Like I even saw your commentary with Casual Card Gamer as well. The ones you did in your tournaments as well. So this is the 6 degrees of separation is so hard to ignore, kind of. And all the more it kind of like encourages me to really just tap into them. So I just really tap into that 6 degrees of separation. And I think it's said by Different Fight. He said this once before on our when we had a podcast back then. Is that I think the biggest reason why we all can get along so well is because we all are technically fans of each other. In a way, of course.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. We're all here for each other. We're all we've all seen each other's content. So I actually really stand by that. It's a really good quote.
Correct, sorry. So I'm kind of surprised to hear that you, Mr. Tali, first started on Tales.
Yeah, I'm a huge gamer. I started out as a gamer. Actually, my YouTube channel used to be a gaming channel. It was really bad. I literally had like raw footage of me just 100%ing video games, and without my face or anything. I was just messing around my room on my PlayStation. It was a long time ago. But gaming has always been my number one go-to, and cars is actually something I recently decided to get into. So even as a gamer, as a card gamer, when I was a kid I played, and then I just stopped, and then I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh I think 7 years ago, and then I played for 6 months and I stopped. Vanguard is the first card game that I actually picked up and have not dropped. I've never played a card game longer than I played Vanguard, and I don't see myself dropping it at all. I even if I stop playing competitively, I'll probably still be keeping up with it just because I really appreciate the art and just everything about it. But yeah, I think that's why we connected so much, because he's a gamer too, so it worked out pretty well. I've went through all the Japanese RPGs on the Xbox 360, and gosh, when I was a kid, it's all I did. So that's why I was able to really be yeah, I totally understand you, because I've played all of these.
A woman after my own heart as well, because I'm also gaming is also my number one passion as well. Yeah, you may know me more for Vanguard content and stuff, which also includes Vanguard versus Yu-Gi-Oh and our skits and our fun fight videos that we do as well. But me personally, I'm the biggest gamer here, and part of the reason why I also started doing games on Twitch is because that was an aspect of me that I really wanted to shine more, because I'm also a hardcore gamer. Some of the people in chat here would know that very well. And if the 6-hour live stream that I did of me just sucking at Resident Evil 2 is anything to go by. It really just kind of like really shines more towards like the love of video games from there. So to hear that gaming is actually number one passion, like you mentioned Tales All, but is there anything else that you know you're super into as well?
Oh my gosh, I can go for days. Okay, number one.
Yeah, we got days. Let's go.
Number one, it'll always have my heart. It's Tomb Raider. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, the classics, like the PlayStation classics. I literally, as a kid, started off with 3 games. It was Duke Nukem, Doom, and Tomb Raider. Those were like my top 3. My uncle like threw these games in my face when I was like 3 years old, and I got just hooked on all 3 of these games. I love the shooter. I love Tomb Raider as a game. Tomb Raider is like my all-time like. I will always go back to these games. They have like I love them so much. But that's like kind of like where my entire like obsession started with games, and then it just like started going from there. Then I started getting to Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, God of War, Jak and Daxter, like all the PlayStation classics. Because I was mainly a PlayStation girl when I grew up. Like I just got, and then Final Fantasy X-2. Like my mom randomly bought me the second one. She didn't know that there was like a whole chronological like kind of thing with them. She just randomly was like, "Hey, this game looks cool." Threw it in my face one day, and I was like, "Okay." And then I put 300 hours into that game. I kept trying to get the 100% ending, and I never did because it's almost impossible.
Oh yeah, no, I tried. I kept
going. I literally replayed it like 9 times, which is like 40 hours. It was crazy. Like I think I'm at like 267 hours. It's still on. I still have the save file for it. It's crazy. Every time I look back, I'm like, why did I put 300 hours into this game? But yeah, just and then I went on my Xbox 360 binge, and I like touched everything I could find on that. That's how I got into the Tales series from there, and then I backtracked to play Tales of Symphonia, and then I played like other Tales games, and oh my god, and then Borderlands, like all like the top dog stuff, like Halo, Borderlands, Left 4 Dead. Gosh, I'm thinking off the top of my head all the what is it? Gears of War. Gears of War is another one I used to play. Call of Duty, of course. Like gosh. Final Fantasy 13. I know that game is linear, but I actually think the music in that game is like solid.
It's fantastic. Yeah, 13.
I think the game's a lot better than people think it is.
no. People dig onto. Don't mind, guys, if you go into a tangent here, but you know this is something that I really wanted to do. So, but like Final Fantasy 13, right? A lot of people knock on it because they don't like the story, they don't like linearity, but they're missing so much of the good stuff from there, especially the music. Especially the music. The music is so good. It's like I remember hearing Saber's Edge for the first time, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like one of the best boss musics I've ever heard. And it's
so hard.
And then the rearrangement that I heard on Dissidia on Dissidia Final Fantasy Duodecim, that's on the PSP. They actually at the part at the crescendo where they actually go back into the melody. There's actually a part that kind of like there's a static TV going off, like. Yeah, that really solidified like this is a very solid like music, and throughout the whole time, like the Promise, the Promise is definitely one of the best like pianos that I've ever heard in my entire life.
And then like the major boss fight scenes with the songs playing. Oh my gosh, I could gush about this game forever because like the beginning is so slow, but then like once they give you that open world access, it just gets like you could just play that game for hours. And it's so beautiful. The game, every cutscene, every scene, and especially during that time when it came out, it was like 2012 or 2011 it came out, and like that game like really stood out. It was just gorgeous in every way. Gosh, I love that game. I've played it too many times.
I haven't played it enough actually, so I need to go through it at least once or so. But I did play 13 for a short while. I didn't play any of the other ones, but again, my biggest takeaway from it is really like just the music. Like I may not agree with like people's opinions about games, especially if they're really just bashing on it, but at the same time also it's like there's a lot of good they can take away out of it also, and so
it's better than what is it, 15? The one with the prince, the one with the
15.
I think it's 15. It's better than 15. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be the first one to tell you. The 15 is kind of bad. It's just it's too easy. Pretty. It's pretty. The music is nice. The car is cool, but it's so boring. I'm sorry. There's just they really. To me personally, I explored every nick and cranny of that game, and by the time I got to the story, I was god tier, and like it was just the story wasn't even that interesting. Like I just completely obliterated the story, and then I was just bored. I was like, there's an arcade game in there though. It's actually
the arcade was great, so
machine. But yeah, sorry. Like I just after it's just like every other game out there. The game was too similar to like other games that came out around its time, and I just didn't find it that appealing about it. Like it didn't stand out. Like what can you get out of that that game that makes it stand out from the other games? Nothing. It's just like every other open world RPG shoot/sword attack game. Like, it just there's nothing about it that says, yeah, like you want to come here for this specifically. Like maybe chocobos. That's it. That's all it's got. It's got chocobos.
Well, 15 is actually one of my more favorite Final Fantasies, unfortunately.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really?
I enjoyed.
You're bashing on your game.
No, it's fine. No, but completely, it's your opinion. So it's your opinion. So I respect your opinion, and I can see your viewpoint on it as well. So, but for me, like 15 was one of those stories that I really jived a lot with, actually. So because I think
the boys. I like the boys.
The boys are good. I mean, like you can't hate on the boy band. Like take anything that you take with this, you can't hate the boy band because the boy band is just.
You can't. They are amazing. Like the way they interact and everything. That was probably the only thing that kept me going with that game. To be honest, I was like, I'm here for the boys. Like the car ride with the boys, the music with the boys. I would play Final Fantasy 13 while driving around.
Oh, you know, I was doing that. I was 100% doing that. I was just playing the promise as I'm riding through into the town. It's like, oh. I just want to stop and cry. I just want to stop and cry from there. So, but yeah, actually, so in this house we love Crisis Core. Oh, I think you listed Crisis Core as one of your.
Crisis Core is good.
Crisis Core is a really good game. Oh no, sorry, I might mix it with something else. Yeah, I haven't played it in a while, but I remember it. But yeah, Crisis Core was really great also. And of course, Final Fantasy Remake was there. Like I love Final Fantasy through the core, and it's like actually one of my more favorite games. So when I heard you say that Final Fantasy X2 is actually one of those games that you actually enjoyed a lot, I was like, this is a rare moment. Because a lot of people dunked on X2.
I liked X2, but then I did play. So I played X2 first. So that's the issue there. Is I went into X2 when I was like 9. I was like a 9-year-old, you know, and I played it. I was like, oh my god, Yuna and Riku and Pain. Like I want to be like them when I grow up. So I was like super engrossed on the whole like girl power thing because I was like a 9-year-old. Later on, I went back and played X. I actually have it on my channel. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, it's really bad footage. Don't go on. Anyway, I played the entirety of X, and I think after playing X, I will say like story-wise, like X is probably better, but X2 is not as terrible as it's more just like venturing out and just having a lot of fun. And I think they're both good in their own ways. I just think X emotionally, like as emotional as a game, just really hits you. Like seeing like the way the story plays out is like really painful. Whereas X2 is kind of more comical and just more fun. And the whole time you're just hoping Yuna will, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but Yuna will find what she's looking for. Like because the whole journey is pretty much her searching for the thing she's searching for. Everyone should know by now what it is, but in case you don't, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, no,
but long story short, like seeing that, like my drive to get her just to have her dream succeed was like the biggest thing about X2 that I really liked.
Yeah, it was super cathartic actually when you actually do finish the game also because and again
it's good. Crisis Core is good, guys.
Crisis Core is also good as well. Crisis Core is good as well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like it's just to hear, and you listed a few titles there that also jive with as well. God of War was definitely one of those games. What was the other one? Shoot.
I mentioned a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot. So suddenly I'm like trying to play the memory game and I try to like list all of the games that you mentioned.
Jack and Dexter.
Yeah.
I just finished Devil May Cry 5. What
a
great ride.
It's a great ride. It's a great ride.
Another game with the boys. Oh.
Actually, here in CVGS, me and Leon are big Devil May Cry fans because we just love the entire series as a whole as well. And did you play the Virgil one?
Love the series.
Yeah.
Yes, I played the entire franchise. Like even the off one, the one that people don't talk about. There's a remake of Devil May Cry. That just happened. Like they released. I played that one. I played all of them.
Yeah, I played all. Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the other side games. I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there as well. Yeah. But we can really sit here and just talk about video games as well. So, but CVGS was also the reason why I bring it up is also because the fact that CVGS, while we may be known for our Vanguard content as well, but all in all, we're just gamers at heart, through and through. Like just seeing everybody also like just chiming in about Final Fantasy 13 and 15 and Crisis Core and DMC, it just really goes to show that how important it is that video gaming is to all of our personal lives also. And it's nice that we have this so many different interests that we can actually jive with. So, but yeah, I mean, well. my brain has jammed from there. So my brain is
A big tangent.
Yeah, it's a bit tangent from there. So but it's nice to really just take time and just really appreciate like these smaller things also, because like especially in terms of the Vanguard community, as well, because we're not just connected by Vanguard, we're connected by so many other things as well. So, and speaking of so many other things, we got one more over here.
Leon, welcome.
Hey Leon. Hang on, let me just adjust the windows. Your audio's off. Let me just.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yep.
I did play Monster Hunter. I see the chat.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yes, yeah, we can hear you. There's a kind of like an air noise with it though.
Air noise.
Yeah. Why is everything linked together? Hang on.
Because Linker Shokan.
Linker Shokan.
There you go. You're good now.
Alright.
Yeah. Let me just test my speaker.
I have played Monster Hunter. I played the one on the 3DS specifically, but yeah, I had my moment.
Okay, you
with
should be fine
Monster
now.
Hunter.
Yeah, just trying to find orange now. No.
Oh, I disappeared. I went bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how you guys were talking about RE, right, and Capcom subject related.
No, it was just me just expressing.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
This is the official Resident Evil 6 jacket that I got with the collector's edition of Resident Evil 6 at the time.
It's so cool. Resident Evil. Oh my goodness, I love Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I haven't touched the new ones as much. Like, I mean, specifically the one with Biohazard. I haven't touched Biohazard or the
7.
Village. But anything prior to that, including the remakes I've played.
I have played everything except 7 and 8.
Yeah, pretty much same. Because I've touched the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I've touched like Raccoon City. That was one of them, and then what was it? Then they had like all the off-putting ones, like the Revelation ones. So those are all like really fun. Yeah, and then the remakes of 2 and 3, also really good stuff.
You know,
I like the Resident Evil games.
You know when she said off-putting, I thought she was gonna say Operation Raccoon City.
I haven't played that one. I'm sorry, I have. It's not good, but I played it. I picked it up for like $5 one day, and I was like, "This looks bad. I'm gonna play it."
Hey, I finally got you on. There we go.
It is bad. I wanted to play it. I was so deterred by it.
It's pretty bad. Like it's just very janky. It's not like the worst thing in the planet, but it's just just go play something else.
There was that other one, Spec Ops, I think. Cannot remember.
I remember that one. Yeah, there's a Resident Evil Spec Ops where it's actually supposed to be a
esports.
Esports is a wave shoot. It's basically a wave shooter. So you and your buddies just go in there and then you actually just like clear waves of zombies as you go along.
Yeah.
No. It was a PvP. It was a PvP thing. It was an esports game, and then it was so terribly bad. You can knife everybody to death by cutting it through.
Too OP.
Way too OP is also. Right. So okay, I actually brought up information because I think we will share information on details, because the start deck for the Blaze Steel Maidens are actually here, and we got some names here, and I see some familiar names, which also includes Rona and Nico, which is the critical and the heal for Dragon Empire. So they're actually coming in this set. There's a few names over here that Zone is also in there. Is also I think the draw. Wait, hold on. Nico is Nico is I think the front trigger, and this one, and Zone is actually the critical trigger from there. And
Nico.
God damn it! Sorry. I hate to say this, but after seeing a pro wrestler actually use that as a pro wrestling move, he's literally in one corner of the ring and he's shouting Nico knee, and then he just runs to the opponent and just gives him one giant knee. So now when I hear
now it's a wrestling move.
Yeah, it's a wrestling move. By the way, that guy is currently wrestling in WWE right now. So yeah, he literally is wrestling in WWE. He's a VTuber actually. He's actually a VTuber, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, now when I hear, like, the reason why I faint over here is because every time I hear a man say Nico ni, I cannot help but think that scene anymore, which is really
weird. I've
been hearing something about it. I follow some WWE followers, and I've been seeing it pop up, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but okay.
No, that's fine. You don't need to pay attention to that, but you can just, if you're curious, go look up Nico ni, Knee.
Yeah.
I think you might be able to find that from there. So
I'll look it up, but I'm curious now.
Actually, let me bring up on the Nico Ni. Here we go. Here's the video. The legendary Nico.
It already looks funny.
All right.
Legendary Nico.
That's too good. That's too good. It's such a meme. Oh my god, that's too good. I love it. I love it so much.
The one thing that I hate about this is that this is not a finisher. This is not the one that ends the match. It's an intermediary move. It's an in-between move, basically.
Oh my god, that's the
worst part. This video is... Yeah.
There's a Singaporean variant of this same move. But it's just for cursing only. Does anyone want to hear it? Does anyone want to hear it? But you need to be. There's a bit of a wordplay, but it's like a Mandarin wordplay. So it's like Nico, fuck me.
Wow. Oh, okay. I got it.
Well, the ni basically in Mandarin means you.
Yep.
So it's kind of like Nico.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I like that. I actually like that. That's funny. As a Russian speaker, wordplay is like our go-to, so I love that.
So once I come on stream, usually there's a lot of dolphins, right?
Pretty much so. Yeah, Kazu now can't stop laughing anymore. So, but yeah. So.
Go Kazu.
All right, Leon. Let me get your initial reactions. What do you think about the Blaze Seal Maiden over here for Dragon Empire?
I don't know, man. Right now, my entire impression for Dragon Empire is kind of sad. Like, there's no... I just need things that lets me mix my stuff. Because it's kind of fun when you see, like, a Magnolia Zola build. And then it's fun when you see a special Hexagonal Magus. Or like a blaster-based Hexagonal Magus of all goddamn things.
Yes.
This
is what I want out of Overdress.
Yeah, there's so many things. But then when you, like... And then we have Team Dragon Empire, where everything is restricted to its own little circle. Like if you send out Vanguard, you see Blade, you see the Sunrise X, you know it's it's
Nirvana. So
then when you see the Gunners, then it's the Gunners Eugene,
Eugene,
and you see Undo. Oh gee, I wonder who, man. Or you could change your starter, your first right line, you know exactly who it is. There's no variation, you see, when it comes down to Dragon Empire. So the Blaze Maiden better be like get something they can mix around. Otherwise, Dragon Empire. Yeah, you see, every time I go,
it'd be cool if you can mix it in.
Exactly, when you go on Twitter, you see every deck build. Everything has like something interesting. This is why I did that Eugene Nirvana deck, Eugene Varina deck. If you have seen it, where I put I have a deck build where my deck is a Eugene deck, but I play the Trickstar and Varina in it.
Yeah,
which
there's
nobody has done.
Locals that went with the Eugene Nirvana deck. He
Oh.
didn't win, but he went with it. Yeah, he created a Eugene build, but you can overdress with the Eugene.
Exactly.
So he like would retire, and then he would go into overdress, and then he'd be like swing. You know, it was pretty interesting. I thought the deck was actually super sick. He didn't get too far because it's not as consistent, but he had a lot of fun.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I did on stream. I won for one of the fight videos, and I won. I fight against Fashion, I think.
Yeah, it's
against Olga.
Against Olga.
Yeah, that's how I was like looking for ways to mix around the deck, but the cards are so restrictive in Dragon Empire right now, and Iron and funny, not say funny enough, like unsurprisingly, Overlord is currently topping in the Japanese scene because it's such a straightforward deck.
Yeah. Actually,
as it was intended to.
Actually, when I was listening to we can take a look at it right here. There's a website that Different Fight mentioned when he was doing his interview in the Cardfight Con, trailvg.com. So you can actually see the like what is kind of like tournament information. Here we go. So you can actually see like yeah. So probably we can go into a tangent about this as well if I can find information at this as well. So you can actually go into specific stores, I think. And
you can see like all the locals and see like how they were doing.
Yeah.
In the meantime, did anyone make a Eugene plus Overlord? To be honest, right, Eugene plus Overlord is basically Eugene Tri-Dash. It's just
only
Overlord
Eugene's
get
bash.
to you just hitting the rear, then you cannot guard, and that's about it. Really, it's really nothing particularly special. Because opponent is more likely to just let go of the rear guard because they just cannot block the rear guard, and then that's it. It's not
Just
much
an extra
different.
retire, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just an extra guarantee retire because Overlord cannot resend in the rear guard, so it really doesn't make much difference.
Yep. So, from what we see here, I think it leads to tweets right now, or back to the pages.
There's also it's a site that's being made, but there's another site that just got launched. It shows like deck profiles and all that stuff, like what people are currently creating, and there's also like a discussion. You can like discuss the deck profile that's like being showcased. It like just came out. It also looks really solid, and like Nico's deck was Sark in there now, and like they're really trying to like get it going.
Yeah, exactly. So, and here we found a breakdown because I think this one came from a V standard from Trailblazers themselves, because I think they hosted their own tournament over here, and you can see like some of the you can see what people are playing over there. So yeah, so we can see Valkyrion actually came in third. Himiko Yggdrasil was actually first in that tournament. And you can see the breakdowns here, like Himiko. I think it's the old Himiko. Yeah, it's the whole Himiko. The break right. The V series one. Sorry, my mistake. Then you can see like 2 people play Loa, 2 people play Valkyrion, Battle Sisters, Chronojet, Tavas. 2 people play Hamsuke. So you know. Hamsuke is actually really good. So Hamsuke is actually really
it's a fun deck. It's a fun deck. I like it. I actually think it has some competitive value, but it's like a lesser good of like other Excel decks, very much.
Correct.
I have to, guys. It's like 9:55.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a meeting to go to in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, correct. Because we only have you until 10 or so my mistake on that also. But
no, it's okay. I just thought I'd let you know.
No. Because I remember they had to go up, but I couldn't remember if it was 10 o'clock or if it was 10:30. But now I remember 10:30. So yeah, correct. Yeah. All right, so we will be saying goodbye to OuterOrange. So thank you so much for dropping.
Fun.
Yeah,
thank you.
Super fun. Yeah, it's 100% super fun also. So hopefully we'll have you back on another time as well. Plus many other people going for just wanna be. I just wanna kind of like help be just like what Cardfight did. I just wanna kind of like bring like Vanguard community together from a different person and just like all of us jive. Again, the goal for me right now is probably just a year-end kind of like discussion stream about all of Vanguard throughout the entire 2021. So yeah, we definitely will want to have you there for that. So.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the future. There's just so much to look forward to. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's actually really fun, and I love these conversations because it actually gets me brainstorming to what I can do and just talking about more stuff that I didn't think about until I thought about it as we talked about it. So it's just really cool. So I appreciate that. Plus, I don't know as much about Dragon Empire as other people do, so learning about like doing this like really helps me just even get a better understanding of Dragon Empire as a nation and a clan.
Yep. So yeah, this is it's just really nice to really talk to you, and I love your energy always. So I really love your energy, and just having you on has just been a blast. So
you have good energy too. Sorry I couldn't spend too much time with you, Leon. I hope your workout and stuff was good though.
It's fine. I came up late because I had work, and then I had to do my workout. I'm something I had to do consistently, so that's fine.
We should get a fight video like on your channel.
That'd be really cool actually to do. I've actually been thinking about things that we could do together as a team.
Exactly.
So them plotting.
Yeah.
And with Cardfight it's been hard to kind of plan anything. Like other people have been asking me to collab with them, and I'm like, I got. So when the time is right, then we will definitely will do something. So 100%. So yep. All right. So thank you so much, Orange. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, all say bye to Orange. Everybody's already saying bye to Orange already. So hope to see you. Peace out, guys.
Peace out. All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Orange.
Hey, you're welcome.
All right. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, it's back to you and me, and I was late. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, and anyways, I actually went and did the Google Translate for the product information for the start deck. Apparently, I was correct in terms of deciphering what is going to be reprinted, because they said that there's going to be 6 cards that's reprinted, and the 6 cards that I called is actually correct. So the PG, the over trigger, the create elemental over trigger, and the 4 triggers are actually being reprinted in the set.
I think it's not that surprising, really.
No.
Wait, is she playing Dragon Empire?
No, she's not playing Dragon Empire. She's playing Zorga.
Oh.
But just wanted to get her like impressions as to what we're seeing over here.
No. I'm talking about the character.
Oh, the character.
And the reprint, the re-record of Guardian, because I kind of missed the Tuesday stream myself. I actually caught on. So
yeah.
so just give me a quick run by.
Correct. All right. So we got promos. We got promos for August. So so Tachikaze and Bermuda Triangle is actually coming out in for V Premium and P Standard. Tachikaze is when this unit attacks the Vanguard. On the Regard Circle, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge for this unit. Then at the end of the battle, you can counterblast 1 and discard one of this unit's equip gauges. Draw a card, choose one of your opponent's grade 2s or greater regards and retire it.
Sounds pretty mediocre.
Sounds pretty mediocre, but there's a lot. But as mentioned, also there's a lot of good grade 2s that's already there. So fitting this in might be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's the one for Bermuda Triangle. So once per turn, auto Regard Circle. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, choose one of your other Regards, return it to your hand, and this unit gets the returned card's original power until the end of the turn.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But then do they really need it? Do they need such a thing anymore?
Actually,
need more?
Actually, having another source, like we talked with Orange about this also, having another source to actually have the bounce back, that's the more important factor here. So the bounce back really. So.
But then don't they already have a lot of that thing? Like everything they do is something's going to get bounced.
Yeah, correct. So, but this is just another one, and then it's also because it's attacking as well, so that adds quite a number of power to it as well. So yeah, Orange saying it's so cool. So yeah. Right, then we got one for standard. This is for Captain Sanctuary, which is the Witcher, because his name is Geralt. I like where you can open up. So yeah, there you go. That's it for that. So skill, auto on the Regard Circle. When this unit attacks while boosted, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. It's a grade 2. So keeping that Bastion meta in control here. But
I don't like
if you are struggling for space, or if you're looking for space for this card, then it's okay. But you know, you probably want to fill it with other things that's more thematic towards your specific deck, whether it be Hexer Orb, Phantom Blaster, or Bastion, of course. So yeah.
Yeah, from what as far as I know, based on my experience against Bastion and Hexer Orb all together,
Yeah.
I still feel that this card is feels a little hard to mix in.
Yeah,
because
correct.
everything and on their own as it is, it's quite overwhelming in strength.
Yeah.
Like Bastion TD itself could have took my face and kicked it on the floor as it is. And then with foresight and everything, and I tell you,
Speaking of
I was practicing against the Hexagon deck as well as the Bastion deck. Both at his pick against Brendan over the weekend to practice. I tell you, holy, they're annoying as hell as it is. Just that as it is. Especially with form up is such a good card. So I don't know whether this grade 2 will serve any purpose or anything. At least based on my experience.
Yeah, you can add it to the collection also. It's pointed out by Dragonfly, so it seems like it's a trial deck card. So yeah, again,
it's
an okay card if you, as I said in my quick cap, it's an okay card if you can find the space for it, of course.
I think you need to rename the title of those videos called recap. Quick cap with recap. Quick cap.
Quick cap is snappy. Quick cap is 100% more snappy. So it's cap doing a quick cap of the
it's a mouthful. Suddenly it's a mouthful.
No, that's why I just stick it to quick cap only. So there we go. Alright, so Innocent Skylord, this one's for Monster Strike. So Innocent Skylord, Onyang Kopon, this is a grade 2. So continuous, this unit can intercept from the back row, and when this unit intercepts, all of your regards cannot be hit until the end of the turn.
I'm gonna punch this thing so hard in the gut.
He's coming from a Draconic Overlord player, yes, of course. That
I'm
would
gonna
be the
punch
case.
it so hard in the gut.
And speaking of that, so the knocking on Heaven's Door Uriel. So when this unit attacks, if your person wrote this turn, choose any number of cards in your soul, call them to open Regard Circle, and then put the rest of your soul into the drop.
I don't know, when I read the name Knocking on Heaven's Door, the first thing came to my mind was JoJo.
Well, there's the rock band afterwards as well, which the name escapes me unfortunately right now. So I wanted to make reference to it throughout the entire stream, but I couldn't remember who sang Knocking on Heaven's Door. Who originally sang Knocking on Heaven's Door, really? So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm mixing it up with Stairway to Heaven, but I digress. Its other skill is Alter on the Vanguard Circle. When this unit is boosted, counter +1, discard one card from your hand, retire all of your opponent's regards in the back row.
Why the fuck?
Nerf this, as I point out.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, why?
And this one
Why?
also bypasses Forsado as well, because it's retires also.
Exactly. Why? This is like Bastion's worst nightmare in this card right there.
Exactly what I pointed out. So.
God. Okay, the only reason why this is forgivable is because Monster Strike has a lot of things that makes them new themselves, and they cannot get it back. So like they need to have skill that is strong enough to stand on its own. Yeah. So it's like, but this too.
Correct. So, but this is one of the last aces that we're getting from Monster Strike, since Monster Strike is coming out next week in Japanese after all. So yeah. Then we move on to the mermaids. So we got the right line for the mermaids as assist. So Nanami's skill. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, choose a grade 1 or less card from your drop and call it to Vanguard circle as rest. Then when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, this unit gets +2 KM to the end of the turn. Alright, so not bad. And this one actually hints that like assist needs to be tactical with the first right, because the card that you'll be fetching from the drop zone will definitely be a card that you discarded. So your mulligan is actually much more important when you play this draw deck actually. Yeah. So
I'm actually inclined to get one of these from my own pre-order.
Yeah, so we definitely want to have this in place so we can showcase it, of course.
Oyako Pon sounds like Oyako Don, and now I'm hungry.
Alright, the grade 2 for SSCs. When this unit attacks, choose one of your Regas and you may return it to your hand. That was on the Vanguard circle. And then continues on Vanguard circle. During the battle, this unit is boosted. This unit gets +5k power.
Sounds like a Bermuda Triangle card, right?
Yeah, very Bermuda Triangle. Typical Bermuda Triangle. SSCs Kyrie. So Kingdom Hearts references. Insert a Kingdom Hearts reference here. So when this unit attacks on the Vanguard circle, when this unit attacks, so +1, choose up to 2 of your Regas and return them back to your hand. Then at the end of battle, this unit attack, if you Persona wrote this turn, choose up to 2 cards from your hand and call them each to separate row Regard circles. So
very Bermuda.
Very Bermuda, so very Bermuda.
This is very premium.
Yes.
But at the same time, it opens up revenues. But I think there's stronger things to play.
Yeah, there's stronger things to play also, but for the right line in SSS really, right, or rather in Overdress right now, this is just the key. The real engine or the real meat of the deck, right, comes in the support. And we got a review for one of the support cards in here actually, which was released the day after. So her skill is that when this unit is placed on the Regard circle, so +1, look at the top card of your deck and call it to either empty Regard circle or add it to your hand. If you add it to your hand, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So the idea is that when you ride up to the grade 1 and then you discard a card from hand, you probably want to discard this one. And after that, you can call her out, and then because of a skill, you can soul +1, look at the top card, and then actually call it to an empty Regard circle.
Sounds about right.
So even from the get-go, so we can see this combination right off the bat. So yeah, and of course the biggest news, which is the surprise news, was that they talked about the Blaze Maiden. They revealed that the SD01 is actually a Dragon Empire, and it's a Blaze Seal
Blaze Maiden. Yeah. This was the question I was asking actually. This is what I was asking because I wasn't sure what she was. Then until you guys keep talking about the Blaze Maiden, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, Blaze Seal Maiden.
Like, so this is actually a Blaze Maiden deck.
Yeah, no, it could potentially be a Blaze Maiden deck, because if there's a few routes that we can go and we've went into. Yeah, the name's right there. But let me talk you through this, because this is what happened after the stream, especially when this was revealed. Like I spied.
Hypothetical?
Huh? Yeah, it's all hypothetical.
Is this a with the Falcon and Winter Soldier movie?
Yeah, it's a Falcon and Winter Soldier moment. So yeah, but it's more of a I don't need sleep, I need answers, and literally I lost sleep. So okay. I literally lost sleep. You can say.
Run me through.
All right. So here's the thing. Blaze Maiden, if we go with the idea of the maidens, right, that means we're considering Reno and Ryu being more of a power-based game. But then we also forgot about Mirin, which is for the Festival Collection. Because the Mirin skill is that, right, move this unit into Soul, choose one of your unit with the Overdress ability, and it gets +5k power. So if we're going with the Maiden route, right, would that mean that this deck will have Overdress?
Chances are yes. Because it doesn't make any sense that Trickstar will be the only Overdress unit up to this point. Because it is okay. I can accept that Overdress is strictly within Dragon Empire. It's understandable. But Trickstar being the only Overdress unit will just limit all its potential to be more.
Correct. Yeah, so that's one branch on the Sacred Timeline. That's one branch on the Sacred Timeline. Here's another branch on the Sacred Timeline. Blaze Seal Maidens. Technically speaking, we can kind of expect Seal Dragons to actually still be alive. So what if this was a deck, right, that targets grade 2s, or better yet, you can choose to target specific grades based on certain conditions. So a new mechanic in that regard.
That makes sense. That does make sense. in a lot of ways, more ways than one.
Correct. So that's the second tangent right there. A third tangent is Nubatama. Because it looks kind of Nubatama-ish. Design-wise looks a bit Nubatama-ish. So what if this was a milder version of what we've seen from Nubatama thus far? Instead of like binding multiples, instead it's like the skill is you choose one to bind. Your opponent chooses one card from his hand to bind, and then every other card can activate skills because if your opponent has bound a card this turn. So pseudo Narukami as well. Pseudo Vanquisher, pseudo Vanquisher in that regard.
It's plausible. It is plausible.
So you could say that I spiraled, like I circled in my head quite a lot because there's so many ideas as to where this could go, and all of them just seem just as viable. So, but we have to see what the quote-unquote sacred timeline is going to be and what we're going to be expecting from it as well.
She's a Dragon Empire. Oh shit.
Yep. And next week,
shit.
yeah, she's from Dragon Empire as well. So.
Yeah, money.
Money. So yeah, and of course we also got news. We also got news later on, or rather from just before the live stream happens. Actually, there's actually gonna be a presentation 2 weeks from now. It's the Tuesday's live stream, and there's gonna be an announcement by Kidani, and they're actually gonna be bringing news for Overdress Season 2 as well. So with Kidani being there and also Dr. O also being there as well, so this is actually gonna be a big episode. Some people are kind of predicting maybe there's a premium ban list going on.
Yes, so I heard just now as I was working up.
Yeah, so yeah. So we'll see whether if news like that is actually going to be dropping on this also. So 2 weeks is a big deal, so we definitely will have to pay attention to that. And definitely in 2 weeks I probably want to ask somebody to be on as well, so together with us as we talk about it. Especially if it's a premium list, because 100% if there's a premium list, we definitely want to have somebody else to really talk through the repercussions of something like this also. So yeah, you can expect that to be a thing. So I'll reach out. I have a few names in mind. I definitely want to reach out, and hopefully they are not too tired from the Cardfight Con Overdress Invitational, so that they better come out. So yeah. So yeah, it was hopefully their schedules all work out also, of course. Yeah. So anyways, so next week we're actually getting news. We're getting the Angels. We're getting the Angels next week. So the Angels playstyle is activate skills based on the grid that's in the bind zone. So basically Mystery Flare. Yeah. It's basically Mystery Flare. So yeah. And then after that we're getting information on Shaman King. So yeah, there's probably some light news or similar to what we got for Monster Strike. They're probably gonna hint like the ace of the trial deck, and we can see what kind of awesome skills that we can glean out of Shaman King from there. So yeah.
Okay. Over soul.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a thing. So yeah, and as we found out from the information over here, the 6 cards that's being reprinted will be the triggers, the over trigger, the original over trigger, as well as the PG in there. So
it's to be expected. The ones that you were predicting, right? It's things that it's to be expected, because I expect no less.
It's to be standardized. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's a standardized part, because they already mentioned they are not gonna be making any more prints of those things. So they cannot afford to do anything outside of that.
Correct.
Like, because these are foundation parts.
Correct.
These are very important foundation parts.
Yep. So yeah, so that's pretty much the news that we got from the live stream and also from earlier today as well. So lots to look forward to in the next couple of weeks for Vanguard Overdress also.
Just to point out a little bit more on that reprints also. It's also definitely because they don't want people to play a Trough critical deck, because they play another set of triggers, because it would not be fair to the rest of the nations.
I think what they've done thus far has been very smart. They've actually limited the amount of triggers they can actually get. So you can only make a crit deck, but you can't make a Trough crit deck. So they actually
so there's a bit of control.
Yeah, that's actually really smart also, and I really applaud them for having this kind of care in their games also. Dragonfly made this comment, so they really need something new for Overdress. Do you feel that they need something new for Overdress?
Okay. As for right now, Overdress as a format, I feel that the only issue I have is that the variety is kind of a problem, if anything. Because at first, we thought that there was going to be a lot of variety, because flexibility, you don't have to worry about misgrading and stuff. But here's the kicker. I'm starting to see a bit of a relapse. A strange relapse. It's just me. Probably it's just me. is that certain nation gets some kind of bias. Or things are starting to feel a little not in check.
Yeah, that's what I've been feeling, especially approaching DPT-04, and I've talked to Vimmer about this quite a bit also. Like, I felt that DPT-04 right should not introduce any new right lines, and it should be a set that focuses on boosting the pre-existing ones also. Because they tried to introduce new stuff in there, right, and they are going to be doing so in this SD. Like, if they just keep reintroducing all the new stuff in there, right, then it's going to be so hard for them to actually kind of really like balance out the decks going forward. So
that is correct. Because right now the issue any deck is currently facing as of right now is that some things are obviously not gonna match up to some of the, like, easily. Let's take a good example. Bastion. Bastion is one of those things that's so easy to use, and its power gauge is so unrelenting. And then we also have cases with Soga. Soga's flexibility, when you use when you play Magnolia, you use Soga's base, you know how much you draw. I fought that variation today. That's a few days ago with Brandon. Brandon's variation is basically that. There is creativity, and there's so many things that even though it's a Soga-based order cards, can be used in Magnolia to maximize its ability as well. And you have then we have Brandgate. Brandgate we have mix of where you play the Seraph Snow base, but you use the obvious parts. You can still keep your prison in activation, and you can keep playing the new set order from DPT-02 to keep spawning shadow tokens.
Yep.
And that's kind of scary.
Yeah, but it's correct also. But in terms of emphasizing your point also, like there is that pattern over there that it seems to be perpetuated, but it's more perpetuated by the players than it is the design of the cards to a better extent. It plays a part, but
But here's the thing. Let me just finish it. Because here's the thing. Because you cannot say the same about Dragon Empire, strangely. Like when they build, it's like when they build Overdress, right? Like they are so careful with it because they don't want Overdress to be a broken mechanic. You can tell that they put a lot of care into it.
Yeah,
when they do it, they don't want it to be abused in or all that kind of stuff. They don't want it to be too easy to use, Correct. And then everything else suddenly they comes from. I'm not saying that it's a weak deck. I'm just saying that the creativity segment of that becomes a bit of a problem.
Correct, sir.
And again, it feels like they're starting to feel like they're relapsing into I'm not taking my cards through with it. But of course, these are cards that also only shines very well when they are within their own format.
True.
That's the best thing you can take away from it.
Indeed, also. Vimero says if it's Overdress, they could make a new trigger and reprint Trickstar. So I don't think they'll reprint Trickstar. Not unless there's a reason to, and I think that one comes in the plot of it. But by right, the plot shouldn't dictate what should be in the set. If it's gonna be Overdress, right, it should be a brand new unit, and it doesn't have to be a grade 0. It could literally be a grade 1. It could literally be a grade 1 card, and after that, all the cards that have Overdress ability will Overdress on top of it. So, and of course they will do 100% different things also. But that we really have to see like what's gonna be the gimmick of the Blaze Seal Maiden as we approach towards the end of October in that regard also. Like let me get the date out from there. End of October, so it's like October 29th. At least it'll be cheap, so anybody can pick it up and then we can just kind of see like what it's all about. So yeah.
Again, my only concern is that how limited within its circle it's gonna be.
Correct.
Because even right now, the Blaze Maiden that we have seen so far, or for up to this point they have printed, it's all either a strict supporter of our for Trickstar, or then that's about it.
Yeah, or power actually. Or if you go with Reno and Ryu, it's like it's only been power.
And even it's not a lot of power either. It's not anything significant or anything that's too drastic.
Correct.
It's not like they were like getting like 10k power up and go absolutely nowhere. it's just their plus 2k lor, and then they call it a day.
Yep.
It's that kind of thing.
Correct. Also, yeah, we now have to play the waiting game once more. So yeah.
Yeah, it's once again back to that.
Yeah, Trickstar over new name. I mean, yeah, but by right, Trickstar again. The only reason I can see right now why Trickstar will be reprinted, and actually I can debunk it right now. Trickstar's not being reprinted in the start deck because it's not one of the 6 cards. So Trickstar's not actually gonna be reprinted. But if it was the case, right, then that means that the anime itself, there's a plot reason why Trickstar will actually be in her deck. And as I mentioned, so the anime has come to a point whereby it should not dictate what's gonna be in the game itself. The game itself should be standalone, and then the anime is just telling the story with these things as part of the activities in the slice of life anime. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they made the girl overdress card. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can think that. So
because the most important thing right now for overdress is that if it changes up and if it gets too much change up, right, it will pose a problem.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to boost their things based on the release of the episodes again, not only the episode is too short for them to promote anything, and their focus has not been the fights anymore. There's nothing to see. It's gonna create a lot of problems for them. That means that they won't have the flexibility to create anything they want or whatever they want. It will be back to square one, and for probably worse because now there's literally nothing to show from.
Correct. You know? So, Clad Zeno says, is the English release of the trial deck on October as well, or is it just the Japanese trial deck? On the same day, yeah, the Japanese one is on October 29th, which is the same day that you guys are getting the Lyrical Monasterio booster actually. So they've lined up the English releases and the Japanese releases into one. So while you're getting Lyrical Monasterio, Japanese is getting the start deck. You guys should be getting the start deck about a month or maybe a couple months. I think it should be a month after that you will get it. So yeah. Should be a month or two after that. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Hey, can find myself on the chat while I watch the stream. Yeah, sorry guys, don't mind me. No, it's okay. No problem at all. Just if you want to be part of the conversation, this is a discussion stream after all. So you are also part of the discussion as well. If you guys want to add any voices, anything into it, or you guys want to ask questions, this is the platform to do so from there. So like no worry at all. So because I had Orange on, so and then we wanted to get a lot more like discussions out of Orange. So I apologize to everybody that made comments because I wasn't reading each and every one out. But I wanted to make sure that we maximize her time that we have her on, so since she is not available throughout the entire stream that we have over here. So yeah,
I just do know that we can't read everybody's comment at the same time.
I usually do it, but that's only when it's me and Leon and us CVGS. But when we have a guest on, especially with limited time, so I will have to focus more on just getting her opinions in the video or in the stream rather. So but yeah. So the English version of Lyrical Monastery will come out first before the 6th start deck. Then yeah, for Japanese, this is coming. Lyrical Monastery is coming out literally in August, and this is coming out in late September. Same thing for English side as well. The timeline doesn't change. It's except for the collab boost. Everything in Overdress will remain the same. So you guys will get Lyrical Monasterio. Then you guys will get DBT03 Weekend Collection Weekend Collection also before that as well. Then you guys will get the ST and then as DBT04 afterwards. So yeah,
roughly around that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the timeline right there. So TDD says after Booster 3. Yes, it's after Booster 3. So yeah. Right. So yeah, as mentioned, that's all of the news right now. So is there anything that you want to add on?
No, at the moment there isn't much to discuss because most of the cards they have came out is quite self-explanatory. Nothing too much that is too over the top to take away from anything else.
Indeed, also.
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
Correct. And yes, you guys are saying Battle Spirits as well because card review discussion also has Battle Spirits cards in here as well. So. Yep. Yeah. So yeah. Beyond that, I think that's all that we have for this discussion stream. So. Yep. So yeah, I actually need to use the toilet really badly right now. So if you guys have any questions, we'll stall for just a little bit. So if you guys want to get in any questions, want to ask us in terms of that, do get them in, and then yeah, we will answer them also before we end off the stream. So I'll be back.
Check Kunta, yes. I'll probably pick up Gravalia if I don't get released. So I'll probably drop one out of my V bring back. Leon Pace. What's up, guys? Any chance you guys are intending to join upcoming online tournaments? We want to, but at this moment, let's just say we're trying to find the time to. Ultimately, we're trying to find the time to. Because it's not been easy for the most of us due to the fact that we're quite busy for the most part. But we'll try. If we could, we would do it, of course, naturally. Let the waifu war begin. Yeah, I know, right? All the waifu. Okay, Tomari versus Megumi versus Meru. Who will you pick? You know, honestly speaking, the female characters of Overdress doesn't appeal to me all that much. And then again, female characters generally don't appeal to me all that much. Maybe Cat would definitely be Tomari.
What?
I know for sure. Cat and Damsel will be more Tomari. For myself, it's very difficult to get me to be interested in female characters for a lot of animes or whatsoever because yes, obviously you best girl. I mean,
yeah.
I mean the problem is that to me the female anime characters are very generic. Sometimes they are paid. So,
yeah.
They're not interesting enough for me to give to really put a thought into it. But if you really want to ask me to like a character, female character of for Overdress so far.
Yeah, gun to your head, like.
Yeah. If let's say a character that, like at least like I like her not like decent. Wow, it's really difficult. Because none of them appeals to me. Because to me, Tomari is quite irritating. She's quite irritating.
Hey guys!
No, that's not the big problem.
Yeah, that's not the big problem.
From,
Yeah, correct.
Like, the problem to me, Tomari is like the biggest troublemaker. As a police officer, she's the biggest troublemaker. She contributes almost nothing. What she talks about. Megumi is just Megumi.
Megumi is Megumi, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. For who's that? Another one? Mary, is it? Who's Mary again?
No, Mireille, which is the girl that's gonna be piloting the Blaze Seal Maiden.
We only have like 2 seconds of her.
We only got 2 seconds of her, so you really can't make an impression, really. So.
Yeah, it's really hard to make an impression. So yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I'm more inclined to say right that the woman that Mireille is playing with right it's that's somebody that catches Leo's eye more than the other girls will. So yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Because she's very mysterious. I like that.
Hey, the wait.
Yes. And I'm into older girls too, by the way. So, if anything.
Okay.
You use Mother Best Girl, yes.
You use Mother Best Girl. Yeah. Oh yeah. I also heard that I've actually finally watched the Vanguard Overdress dub. Okay. It's not bad. I like it. I like it quite a bit. I can see why people say that Megumi sounds high pitch. High pitch is not the word that I'll use. Mousy is the word that I'll use, and mousy actually is more apt to describe Lily Pichu than anything else. So yeah, so it doesn't fit nicely, but we'll see once the drama comes in, especially with Megumi like trying to save Wonder Hill. Like when we get those episodes, then we really see where Lily Pichu will shine as the voice actress for Megumi from there. So yeah.
What Leon TMI for today? Or CMI?
Too much information for today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it really too much information? I'm not really saying anything else right now, do I?
Older women, so but yeah. Anyways, Kazu says when the new ST comes out, make the waifu war content.
I guess so. We could. Sorry.
No. Speaking of which, there's something I need to discuss with you after the stream. So it's regarding content here on YouTube, because it is a request from one of our members here on YouTube. So yeah, I will need to pitch it to you. I kind of have an idea, but we'll talk about it more towards the guy. If you guys want to see what's going on from there, do pay attention to hear overs on YouTube. And yeah, so just make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you can notify all of our videos whenever they come up from there. So one more question here. Jonathan says, what would you guys say regarding the anime for Overdress in regards to earlier seasons? More Cardfights or no? Actually, I'm okay with this format. I separate the two because I can't. It's not fair to really compare Overdress with the previous seasons, because the previous seasons were what they were. They were card game anime, so exactly the same as what you will see from Yu-Gi-Oh, from Battle Spirits as well, so on and so forth from there. So like, I take it as its own entity, and so I can't really compare it. I'm perfectly okay with this direction it is because of many different problems between the anime and the card game itself, but that's a whole nother tangent for another day. It stands alone. I'm okay with the card fights being as condensed as they are because I don't feel like that's the most important thing. And as a mainstream anime, right, that should not be the thing that people will gravitate towards, because for people who never played the game, they will never understand what's going on over here. But if they resonate with the characters playing this deck, with Danji, with Yu, with Megumi, everybody that's in there, the main cast over there, if they resonate with the people over there, they may be inclined to play the game, and that was the mission of the anime. That's the mission of the anime, really. So
yeah, if you ask me about that, right, I honestly, whenever a new anime comes out, I try not to compare because because when you have expectations, right, you would tend to be disappointed. So, what happened to our stream? Just
No,
error.
No, not an error. We're still live. Oh. I know. I only say ooh because I just realized who commented, which is Casual Card Gamer. So, hi Casual Card Gamer.
Hello.
he just woke up, so like he reached the culture. Yeah, you missed Orange because Orange had to leave because it's a work day after all. So yeah.
Yep.
But we did talk a lot about the reviews and gaming and such, and also cover Overdress. I also mentioned you as well because you and Orange actually did commentary for tournaments, actually for tournament plays actually, and I've seen your videos and I really dig it a lot. So yeah. So yeah.
Well done, keep up the good work.
Yeah, I wish I could do shoutouts here on YouTube. I can do it on Twitch, but I can't do it here. But yeah, everybody, Casual Card Gaming is also another Vanguard YouTuber here as well. He does some good stuff as well. So feel free to check him out as well. So say hi to him. Feel free to check him out as well. So yeah, where were we?
Okay, we were saying, right, I was saying, when you go into a new season of a certain anime, right, watch without expectations. Because when you start to give us expectations, you'll be often disappointed. Because there is like there's already a bar set, and that's not helpful. For me, Overdress is something very fresh to me because, again, it's not it's the first time that card game has been approached this way. A card game anime has never been approached the way that it is because it's always the same formula for the most part. Like the first season of Vanguard, right? Like the early 2000 version of Vanguard. 2011, yeah. Okay, it was interesting because it didn't have the usual set of protagonists a card game anime will have, the trope where the main character is always some hot-blooded redhead with a red color dragon deck, and then the rival character is always somebody who is some loner emo. Okay, not really, just some guy that has some issues. Okay, it's usually the case. Okay, Vanguard, but Vanguard approached it differently because IG was different. IG wasn't somebody who was a hot-headed character. He's a timid character. He was learning the game. He wasn't winning every fight he was going into. He was losing for the most part, which is very new. Because for some reason, almost every card game anime protagonist will be somebody he's just new to the game and somehow just really kicking it over his ass because it was some natural talent or some stuff or some bullshit like that. And then he has his evil cycle period where he was a Shadow Paladin player because of some awakening, And a lot of the story ends up, you realize that the real main character was not IG, it was actually Kai the whole time.
Yep.
Because everything happened because he was always in the center of everything that's happening.
Correct.
So there was a story, it was different. That's why Vanguard caught on so well. And of course, as a card game itself, it wasn't a game that you can just win because you're the most expensive card in the world.
Yep.
It's
half luck, so yeah.
Yeah, it was like half luck, but it also really comes down to the way that you have to analyze the situation essentially.
Yep.
It's mostly about that. That's why it makes it fun. So back to the topic of the card game. So Overdress approaches this as a player perspective. If like you ask day to day, the sort of thing, except a bit more over the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not, and they're not rubbing it in your face like saying the whole world revolves around this game. Sometimes that's irritating.
Yep.
Where the card game goes like the whole world revolves around this stupid card game. Like everything is decided on this card game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, literally your life, your job. Goddamn. Yu-Gi-Oh! Holy shit, stop it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, or something like that. It gets very irritating sometimes. And Overdress is a very fresh thing. And I can say it's not for everybody, but it's definitely something that people should give it a chance, even though it's not aggressively approaching you like this card is good.
Yeah, and even if you don't appreciate or you want more card fights in it, do recognize the reason why it's built the way that it is, or rather it's presented the way it is, because its goal is to be a mainstream anime. It's not to promote Vanguard anymore, because Vanguard itself is already well promoted as it is. The anime does help with a bit of promotion in terms of characterization and all that, but at the end of the day, right, the anime nor the game should dictate each other as to the story or the boost that's coming up, which is what was happening with the entire Vanguard as a card game anime, and to a certain extent Yu-Gi-Oh! And also Battle Spirits up to a certain extent as well. But the difference being that Overdress, with the way that it is, right, the main thing that you have to take away is that it is there to do its marketing for Vanguard, but do it in a different way, whereby it's more towards characterization. Let people resonate with the characters, and then they will jump into the game, because the characters that they like is actually playing this game. So yeah, that should be the way that it is also.
Yep, just to add a quick add-on before we kind of like not delve into the topic for too long, is that the reason why you get into something is because the character are relatable to you. And that's the most important thing about media. It's always about getting your audience to relate.
Correct.
When they can relate, then they'll be curious, and then they, you know.
Indeed,
that's how it goes on.
Indeed, also. Jonathan says, so hot take. Danji will return as an antagonist and embrace the heel role. No, that's not a hot take. That's probably what's going to happen, but he's not going to embrace the heel role, like not be a full villain. It's more of a circumstance. It's a happening of circumstances because of what we saw in the last moments of the anime. So episode 11, episode 12 as well. So, but yeah, Shaman King excited. Yep, Shaman King coming out next week.
I wish Cardfight Con would happen once again with pandemic is over. I would love it to take place in your place, Singapore.
Singapore also. Cardfight Con is not a Singapore
based event.
It's not a Singapore based event. It's a group. It's a group also, and the guys are actually Americans, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, like, I think with the pandemic, right, it showed us that we can really do remote fights in the way that it is, and they do have another one. Hopefully, we can be a part of it as well. So we are gonna try and make efforts to actually try and be a part of it. So
bomb their mailbox.
Bomb their mailbox.
Guys, bomb down their mailbox for us, guys.
Yeah, indeed. Also. But yeah, yes, AO, thanks, guys. I definitely watch a replay later, so I love the flavor of your videos. Thank you very so much. Thank you so much, Casual Card Gamer. I actually love your stuff because I've been watching your stuff through Orange, and you know, I've just started getting into it also, and you know, I love what you do, man. I really love what you do. So maybe we can collab. Maybe we can have collab. Maybe we can have you here one day. So
most certainly.
Yep. Alright, so but last thing I can but can I say this? I think the better explanation of the anime of Vanguard evolved from a card game anime from a real one. But I love the way I enjoy the game, and this is why the game is awesome also. Yes, Vanguard in itself is awesome on its own, especially with the way that they've been handling, you know, cards and the power creep especially. It's phenomenal. Like, I love Vanguard more so than I have when I first started playing. So, and that's because Overdress and Vanguard in general has not been feels like it's properly taken care of, and that's very rare for a Japanese game for that to be a thing.
Actually, no, it's always been a thing of it.
No. Yeah, so
because again, the problem with Japanese card games, just a quick note. The problem about Japanese card game, why a lot of Western media couldn't get into, is because of the power creeping.
Right.
They don't take care of the game as we say it would. Not like Magic in a way.
Indeed.
Magic really take care of a lot of stuff when it comes down to it. Pokemon actually takes care of that stuff quite a bit, even though
they
it's
take care
Japanese
of
quite
it
big.
also, yeah, but you know.
But sorry, just quick. Like, but when it comes down to it, like Yu-Gi-Oh, Vanguard, it's like and every Duel Masters, right? Taking care of the card game has never been really known.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
well known also. Well, but yeah, but I think it just took the right person, and Producer Mori is the
Yes,
right man for the
Producer
job. Producer Mori is the right man for the job. So thank you so much, Producer Mori. So. Alright, so that's it from us. Thank you everybody that has chatted with us. Thank you, of course, to OuterOrange for actually joining us on this discussion stream. We really love her energy, and that's why I was like super excited when the prospect came up that we can actually invite OuterOrange back, and you know it's super fun to have her on also. And hopefully we have her on more. And hopefully we do some stuff with her as well, because part of this collaboration, her having on, is that we do something on her end as well. So we definitely want to have something like that. So you do look forward to it. Again, you can find Orange's description all in the description box below. You can find her YouTube. You can find her Facebook, her Twitter. Does she have an Instagram? I haven't seen that actually. So give me a second. Let me just check my notes. Also, she tagged us on Twitter, so let me just pull it up. Change screens. Quickly pull it up. So yeah, thank you so much, Cosmo Vegas, for having me. It's a pleasure meeting people with similar interests and love for games and Cardfight Vanguard. So much respect to everything you guys do, and until next time. Yes, we definitely will have you on next time as well. So I'll reply that at a different day. But yeah, as I mentioned, you can check all of OuterOrange's information all in the link description below. Her YouTube, her Twitter, her Twitch. She also streams on Twitch as well. So you want to catch her, she's usually streaming on Tuesdays. So you can actually catch her over there. And of course, her other socials as well. So you can also find all of our socials in the description box below as well. Our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our Discord as well. We can actually talk to myself and Leon if you want to chat with us off stream or off videos and such. You can 100% go on to our Discord and go through from there. Yeah, subscribe and ring the bell here on YouTube also, so you can notify all the videos when they come up. We got more fight videos coming up for you guys. We also, like, this discussion stream is happening every Wednesday as much as possible, of course, and we will be bringing you these discussion streams, this Vanguard news stuff, and more fight videos coming out from there. So we got a lot more coming to you guys as well. So yeah. Also, like, of course, follow us on our Twitch as well. So if you want to see me playing games, as me and Orange has gushed about for a little tangent from there, but if you want to see like more on my video game side, or our video game side rather, you can actually go over to our Twitch. There you can also check out our Tuesdays live stream when we see the breaking news, and you can also hang out with me as I play some games, and you know, just be on stream and just talk to you guys. So yeah. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. So Casual Gamer says awesome stuff from what I caught. I'll listen to the replay when I'm at work. So thank you so much. So yeah, until next time, I love the live stream as always. Bye. Thank you so much everybody that has joined us from there. Leon, do you have any thing else that you want to add before we head off?
No, that's all for me actually.
That's all from me, I'll say. Alright, so with all that said, thank you guys again for watching. I'm just gonna leave this on for the entire time. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Oops.
Oops.